Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.
Well, goddamn, I guess the feds really don't want us talking about the raid on Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, if they're willing to go as far as to send a strike team to your house to cut your internet, probably.
Yeah, but anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we're here now, and I'm gonna send the link out real quick so that you guys can actually hopefully see the proper link. So
Hopefully.
Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, crazy news week, folks, but we're glad to be back. And first of all, I guess, Akaba, how was your week before we get into the...
It's been pretty good. I've been doing some stuff. I have been working with my new job, kind of getting the feel for it a little more, easing into it, but it's going good. Just really busy to the point that I haven't been able to keep up with much of the goings on. I've been kind of doing my own little thing, when I got some free time, playing something, watching something. So I haven't, I'm catching up on a lot of stuff. For instance, the raid we will be discussing tonight. Besides that, I started Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, the sequel to the 2010 visual novel crime mystery kind of Hunger Games battle royale-esque story. Something I enjoyed the first game a lot. I was kind of surprised. I got to it really late. Started that though, and it's more of the same, more what I expected. So I'm happy with that. Besides that, I have been just kind of listening to music, working on stuff here and there, and before I know it, my week's over. So pretty cool. Uneventful, all things considered. A lot of hip hop, a lot of video games, as per usual. What about you?
Very cool. Well, two things. On Monday night, I watched the movie Heat, which, God, that movie is literally as old as I am. It came out the same year I was born, which is crazy to think of.
No, it's not. You're from my generation. We watch Star Wars. We know things were made before us.
Yeah. That's true. It's just, I guess none of us are getting any younger. But
no.
Yeah. But I guess so I watched that on Monday, partially because
Did you like it?
I've seen that movie three times, and
okay.
Even having seen it before, there's just it's close to a 3-hour movie, and so there are things you forget over time. But what's interesting and what made me think of it is you mentioned that you're playing a video game that's like a sequel to a novel, and
a visual novel.
Yeah. And I guess Michael Mann, for the past 5 years has been writing Heat 2, which is a sequel to Heat. And so the novel just got released on Tuesday. And so I picked that up on Audible, and it's surprisingly good so far. So have you seen that movie before?
Yes, but a long time ago. It has been many years since my last Heat viewing.
Yeah, it's a good flick. So other than that, I beat Red Dead Redemption 2 this week for the second time around.
Now, how was it your second time around now that like you know what to expect and now you have had plenty of time to think on it, how do you feel about that ending?
Well, I mean, by th- by the ending, I mean like I've completed the whole entire game, like including the epilogue, and
Hmm.
I guess I like it to the extent of I feel like they told a pretty solid story. There are a few things going back to Red Dead Redemption that the original
Hmm.
that like I feel like they maybe could have tied in, or like I don't know. I like the fact that like Sadie and Charles live, through the end of the game, but at
Hmm.
the same time, since they're not really part of RDR1, and Rockstar has no plans to do anything with that IP anytime soon, it's kind of like, well, eh, you know,
Yeah.
I like those characters, but it is kind of a little disappointing knowing that we're probably not going to get any like Red Dead sequels or even prequels uh,
Mm.
at this point in time. Um,
How did you feel about it compared, because it's got kind of a similar tone in the thematics of its ending for both one and two. How do you feel two did in comparison to one with nailing its kind of its overall themes? Better or
well,
worse than one?
I mean, I would say better because I would say better because I mean, this one actually you do kind of get like an actual redemption arc,
Mhm.
where you take Arthur's character and he does, bad things, gets TB, and then actually is able to kind of turn his life around there at the end and, redeem himself.
Right.
John's ending from RDR1, it kind of seems like, you know, he does the thing, but then, spoiler alert for a 15-year-old game, he gets killed in the end anyway. So, I would say RDR2's ending is a lot more, um, I would say that it's a lot less tragic than the
Mhm.
ending of RDR1. And it's very interesting because you'll uh, you'll see people on the RDR subreddit being like, I love the ending of RDR2, and I'm glad that everyone finally got like a happy ending at the end of at the end of the epilogue." And it's like, okay, either you're trolling or you're one of those people who hasn't played Red Dead Redemption 1
Right.
at
Yeah.
all. So, um, and now currently I'm slowly working my way through Cyberpunk, and by working my way through, I mean I'm just basically like exploring the cities at this point.
What
So,
here's where I start judging you. What life path did you start with?
oh, did I not tell you this?
No, you didn't. And because I would have wanted to hear this.
So I started off just because I didn't know I literally didn't know what to pick. So I picked I kind of did like a flip of the coin and picked Corpo
Okay.
um at the beginning, mainly because I kind of figured like corpos are, the bad guy, right? And so I kind of thought it would be interesting to kind of start with like a villain, and then kind of, something happens and you have to redeem yourself.
Hmm.
Um, why? What? 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 What should I have picked, Mr.
Oh,
Cyberpunk expert?
Oh no. I find it says people's what they pick first and their reasonings. I always find fascinating. No, I started with Corpo first, 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
Because good.
I saw gameplay. I saw gameplay footage of some of the other beginnings, and they didn't like Corpo. I guess the other reason too is like I had seen gameplay footage for some of like the other beginnings, but I had never seen any Corpo footage. So I kind of figured, since that's one I hadn't seen any gameplay footage of, I figured I would start with that one.
I started with it, and then immediately after finishing it, went back to go immediately try the other two and see the difference. So I played through the opening a total of 4 times, 3 to try it all out, and then 1 to pick. And after going through Street Kid and Nomad, I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna rock Corpo."
Yeah, I mean, I was tempted to do Nomad just because that's kind of what you see in all the promotional
Yeah,
material, it seems like, but um I was just kind of like, nah, this seems kind of, it seems kind of like they kind of seem like the suggestion of like what the game, even though they give you a choice, it kind of seems like what the game wants you to do almost. And
yeah,
so,
like a soft cannon. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so
So you've just kind
anyway,
of been exploring the city and doing little side stuff here and there.
yeah, and then I currently have Mafia 2 or no, 3 downloading to my PS5 as well. So I actually haven't played Mafia 3 yet, so I'm curious to see how that will go. So, but
I worked the release of Mafia 3 at GameStop, and everything I've heard about it and seen about it, it looks like it's good. It's just it's not the next big thing, and a lot of people didn't give it the time of day because of that. But from what I saw, and had heard, it was well grounded. It was good for what it was. If you like stories, it's a good story to have,
yeah.
and it's not bad. It's not bad to play.
Well, from my understanding, and like I said, I haven't played it. So um, so Mafia 1 and 2 are about the mafia itself,
Mhm.
and you play both as characters who are in the mafia and then kind of get disenfranchised with the mafia. This one is interesting because you play as like a Vietnam veteran who basically returns to New Orleans, and his or the game's version of New Orleans, and
Yeah.
his community gets basically terrorized by the mafia. So rather than being in the mafia, so to speak, you're playing as like a John Wick or Punisher type character, and you're supposed to take out the various mafia figures.
Yeah,
From what I understand, at least.
mafia adjacent, I like to say.
Yeah, and so I think maybe that's why I didn't receive maybe as high acclaim at the time. I don't know.
I think that
But
mostly falls to just everybody. If it's not as good as Grand Theft Auto, you know what I mean? Like they tend to not give a fuck.
yeah,
Like
but
I
I've
really worry about
also
Saints Row coming out. Like I really worry that people are just gonna write it off and not give it a chance. And I know for a fact from before that vertical slice was done that game is going to be amazing.
yeah. Well, but I'm one of those people who I mean, I like GTA, but
Mhm.
I feel like GTA gets hyped up more than it should
Oh yeah.
sometimes. So, and people are like, It's not GTA, so it's not a good game," and meh, 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 meh."
Well,
And
I feel
I'm
like
like,
they've rode the hype. Like there was reason to be hype over GTA back during 3 VCSA,
"Sure."
even with 4, and even on the launch of 5. But it's been fuck me, what 10 years now?
almost. You know,
Like,
I want 8. I think 8 years at the least. So
it's amazing how long that company has ridden that brand off of hype that it mostly earned well long ago in the fucking
yeah,
90s.
yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting because like GTA 6 is out there, and I'm sure there are some diehards, but like it's very interesting because there are people who are like, "Yay, you know, GTA 6," and then there are people who are like, "I want Red Dead 3 or I want Max Payne 4," or you
A
know.
lot of the kids want the GTA, a lot of the adults are wanting more Red Dead. That's kind of where I
Yeah.
sort of see things a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, I think part of the reason for that is, right, it's what, you know, like, the younger kids weren't, you know, they weren't around when GTA, you know, was a thing, and so for them, they
Well, I
wanna
think
be
it's just a
part of this.
well, yeah, of course. You always have those that want to be hopping on the bandwagon, even if they don't know. Look at Devil May Cry 5. But I feel like the ones who really appreciate what Red Dead is the older audience because of it's a slower game. It's a much slower, calmer paced game.
Yeah, well, and then plus, like, I honestly can't think of any other. I mean, I'm sure there are, but I honestly can't think of any other games set in the Old West.
Mm, there was Dark Watch on the PS2 and Xbox, which if you haven't played Dark Watch, go buy an old console and play Dark Watch. It's about vampire cowboys and demons and shit, and every like old revolver and lever action rifle have crosses on them. It's fucking metal. Go play
I
Dark Watch. Besides that, Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption, RDR2. Um, I think that's mostly it.
Yeah, so that's kind of, you know, my point is, you know, like the crime genre,
Oh,
you know,
gun,
already.
gun back on the 360. So there's one.
Oh, yeah, well, gun. I mean, but like, I mean, I guess the crime genre has kind of had its, you know, fair share of games over the years, whereas like the Western genre, for whatever reason, you would think it would be bigger, but it's not. So I think people will kind of like that change
Well,
of
and the
things.
thing is too is like it does the West really well in a lot of aspects. You can be about at least for online, right? In terms of wanting a Wild West game, it's such a niche subgenre that I think something like Red Dead Online really helps because you can be a hunter, you can fish, you can go bounty hunting, you can run moonshine, and granted those are all added in over time, but it kind of gives you almost that complete feel of being in the West and having the Wild West experience.
Yeah, completely.
Which is why it's a shame that mode is so neglected.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, in what graphically it still holds up really well. You know,
Oh yeah.
graphically too.
Oh, RDR2 is and online are fantastic looking, gorgeous video games.
Yeah, like it doesn't. I mean, and granted, it's not that old either compared to GTA 5, but I mean, still, you know, it's a few years, you know, older, I guess. So,
Not even like graphics as in
um,
fidelity, but it's like composition. There are so many beautiful scenes, mountains, canyons, forests, rivers and lakes, things like that. It's such a beautiful, it looks like a real world. It doesn't feel like something like Elder Scrolls Oblivion where it's a bunch of cut and pasted trees and maybe a pond here or there if some story mission requires it. It feels like
right.
a digital representation of the real world shrunk down. I got even the swamps. They do fantastic. You know, I've been through the Louisiana area well enough. And it captures that feeling, especially for that time period, so damn well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, and I mean, they really do. You know, it's also pretty historically accurate. I mean, as far as guns go, you know, too, and whatnot. You know, and the whole thing with like tuberculosis being a real thing. So, um,
Oh, hold on. I need to say to Boosh McFadden in chat. No. Oblivion was great, 100%. I love Oblivion. Don't get it twisted. I just think the world was not as fun to explore as the Fallout stuff, kind of parts of Skyrim and Morrowind stuff. I feel like exploring through most of the world itself wasn't quite up to par. Then again, I've not gone back. Maybe it's better than I remember, but yeah, no. Oblivion was great. I just think that the world and how it looked was it felt kind of artificial. It felt very gamey, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. Here's an interesting question. What is the worst open world game that you've played?
Worse in what regard?
Like in terms of
The world to explore or the
playability,
whole game?
function,
Okay.
the whole. I mean, it can be the whole game too.
God, the worst? That is actually kind of hard for me to think of because, like, it's not hard to do an open world decent, even if it's kind of like similar cut and paste philosophy. God, I can't even think of a game that I've played that had a terrible open world, like was a bad open world game. Then again, I don't go through many open world games that are bad, but in terms of world itself, I feel like probably one of the ones I had the least fun with exploring as a world was probably Borderlands 2. I love the lore world of Borderlands 2, and you know the gameplay is fine. It's good for what it is, but it felt empty, and it didn't reward you for exploring everything or every corner that might seem interesting. But
Yeah,
I am
that
also spoiled by FromSoft games, which are really good at doing open worlds that are open but closed, and also rewarding exploring everything.
that's fair. I would say mine is, and this is a really old game now, but I would say not Spider-Man 2 because Spider-Man 2 is awesome, but
Mm-hmm.
when Spider-Man 3, the movie game for that film came
Yeah.
out, which is kind of funny in a way because you know Spider-Man 2 the movie was fantastic and so was Spider-Man 2 the game, and then Spider-Man 3 it wasn't bad, but I mean it had its issues and people were like you know, it kind of killed you know, the Toby verse, so to speak, or the Raimi
Sadly.
Spider-Man universe. But yeah, like I remember Spider-Man 3 the game, like as far as open world, it didn't it didn't I mean it didn't it wasn't like egregious, but there were random events that would just like pop up, you know, in like really
Yeah.
in just like really inconvenient places. Like sometimes you would have like random events pop up while you were still in, you know, like on an actual game mission too. And then
Cyberpunk has some issues with that here and there if you're mega unlucky.
yeah, that's what I've heard. And I've not been, fortunately, that hasn't been an issue with me so far, but yeah, I've heard that that's something that you can encounter. Like, yeah. So, also just they took away like some locations from Spider-Man 2, like the arcade that like you should have been able to play, but it's like okay, so you gave us a subway system, but like you took away everything else in
Yeah.
the game. Um so yeah, that was pretty bad. But anyway, well, I think now that we have some people here and people are aware of the stream now, welcome to everyone in chat, Felon and Meadow, uh Warfist, Okie Dean, and Boots. Hello to you all. And so Mar-a-Lago got raided,
I
ladies
have
and
been
gentlemen.
I have been hearing about that. What is going on with that? Well, what
Well,
was it about?
well, that's a good question, and you're not the only one with that question.
Nobody should be having that question besides people who didn't have a chance to read the article. Oh dear. I can see where this is going to go.
Yeah, yes. Okay, so you can already see the problem then, I guess.
Mhm.
So supposedly the story is that I guess the FBI conducted a raid on Mar-a-Lago because they got a tip that Trump had like nuclear codes or something in his possession. Now, I find that really weird from the get-go because the guy is out. I mean, he's been out of office for what, almost 2 full years now, and now you're just realizing that nuclear codes are gone. That seems suspicious in and of itself. Um. Furthermore, oh, were you going to say something? Akuma, oh shit. Um. Oh. Well, damn. The CI really doesn't want us talking.
Yeah, no, I was hearing some beeps and tried to replug something hoping it would stop, and yeah, then my mic didn't work even though it's different from my headphones. So yeah, no. What I was going to say was in terms of how long he's been gone for, too damn long, Sammy. He's been gone too damn long. My gas is too damn high, and Brownie makes
Yeah, yeah,
costing me an
yeah.
extra goddamn quarter. So, and plus it is weird because nuclear code should probably swap out after a certain amount of time, and I imagine after a presidency into the new one probably it would be a good security protocol.
Yeah, well, I don't think Biden should have his hands on the nuclear codes anyway because he has dementia.
That's a fair point.
So so that's a whole nother thing. But irregardless, so yeah, you're right. They should swap him out. But it's weird that like he's been gone for too he's been gone for too long. We both agree. Realistically, he's been gone for almost 2 years, and now the feds are saying that he's got nuclear codes. Um, I don't buy it necessarily.
They should have been on that, in all honesty.
Yeah. Um,
I want to just hold on 1 second. Chat, if you're out there and you're listening and you hear some weird, very semi-quiet Tron noises coming out of Sam, please let me know so I know whether or not it's him or my schizophrenia. Don't worry, Sam.
I'm hearing them too. I'm hearing like whirring and clicking and whatnot.
Okay,
It's
you are
weird.
okay. Yeah, because I heard it come through the stream too, and that's why I unplugged my headset, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's my mic, but it could be the feds.
Maybe it is actually the wire in your room listening. This is a spicy show, people. I'm starting to not know what's kayfabe anymore.
I don't listen. Things have gotten so weird. Weird.
Oh no!
So
Hold on. Hold on. I think you're okay. You're good. You're good. You started to disconnect there. You were saying, what do you think?
Oh shoot! I was disconnecting again.
Yeah, your bars bounced a little bit, but I think you're okay.
Okay. Yeah, well, I've got a stable connection on my end, it's looking like, so hopefully this will keep going smoothly. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't know what's real and what's kayfabe anymore either, Aqua. But
At least I'm
it's
not the only one.
well, to be honest, I don't think any of us know what's real. This is why Apex is. I get it. This is why the man is always depressed and insane. He doesn't know what's real and fake, and he was just ahead of the curve, maybe. Um, but anyway, so I'm not gonna read this whole uh article from the Wall Street Journal.
Give me the footnotes though. What's the important
But
takeaways?
essentially, it's saying that I guess the FBI found classified documents in Mar-a-Lago um, on and this was like earlier in the week. Supposedly, this has something to do with Roger Stone, too, but I'm not really sure how. Oh shit! It wants me to sign in, which I mean, I do have a Wall Street.
Nah, throw it ad block the motherfuckers. Don't give them a dime. Nobody give dime to view fucking news articles. News should be fucking free. It's for the fucking people. Don't accept it, chat. Don't accept it, podcast listeners. Don't you dare pay for one of these fucking crook institutions to read what should be free to all the people.
Yeah, no, I don't pay for it either. It was a gift. It was a gift subscription, so I'm like, sure, why not? But yeah, no,
Turn on that pesky ad block.
I have ad block on. So, but yeah, no, I'll just fuck this since wanting me to sign in. Yeah, so basically the footnotes are that I guess the point is they found something, and supposedly Trump is. They think Trump is selling espionage, or selling secrets to like foreign countries, which is amusing because Hunter Biden like literally does that openly,
Yeah.
every single week, on top of snorting, coke off of hookers' asses,
And
and
smoking literal crack out of a pipe.
yep, and taking dick selfie.
And
So,
being around very possibly underage girls.
yeah, so but we're not gonna mention any of that. So so what's interesting to me about this is there has never been a raid, at least as far as I can find, on a former or sitting president's home in US history. Uh this is like the first time that this has happened.
Yeah, I
Which,
don't remember
okay,
anything like it ever happening.
if I were the Democrats right now, I would just like leave Trump alone and just like let him do his own thing, shoot his mouth off, you know, to whoever, and just not, really do anything. By doing this, they're pretty much validating all his claims that, like, yes, the government is after me and whatnot. And they're trying to stop me from re-election.
Now,
And
hold
now,
on, Sammy. You're gonna tell me that everybody in current persuasion power is dogging on Trump, expecting it to be the end, because they clearly remember how well that went the first time when they said he has no chance to win anything, and that he's outnumbered 9-1, and it'll never. There's no way you're telling me these same people are once again saying he's done for. Goodness.
I know it's amazing, right? That they're saying that he's done for. And he's never gonna run for president again, and he's finished. Well, pretty much now, like, he has all but said that he's running for sure in 24 now.
Of course. Why wouldn't he?
Which I'm like, yeah, why not? He literally has nothing else to lose, and whatnot. So,
He can, if he's getting the publicity, it's a waste of the publicity not to do something with it.
well, it's like, I would honestly like to know how they thought that this was going to play out, because on
That's a
the
joke
one
on you. They
hand,
didn't.
on on the one hand, I I I can't think they're that stupid, but on the other hand, I get proven wrong every day
Hillary.
that they really are that stupid. Um, you know, um, it just, and I mean, the thing that is we don't even know, like, where the supposed, uh, you know, where the supposed intel about about classified information in Mar-a-Lago came from.
Oh yeah,
We
of
don't
course not.
we haven't heard any tip. Who authorized the raid on Mar-a-Lago? Like, who signed off on it? Like, that's what I
Oh, none
want.
of that's known even? Wow.
Not the last not the last time I checked. So yeah, it's I mean, just to give you some perspective on how, money fucked up this is.
Mm.
Andrew Yang, the
Oh, I
guy who
saw
was
that.
basically like, yeah, he, when he's saying that this is fucked up, that
You're doing
the
something
feds
wrong.
have,
Yeah.
yeah, um, and so again, like, I think Trump is gonna, he has to run again, and I don't see how any moderates or independents, at this point can be like, I'm really undecided about Trump, because, like, he was doing nothing, literally nothing, and they came after him anyway. So,
Yeah.
um, so that's that on Mar-a-Lago. I suppose I could, like, dig up more articles and, like, get into like really some of the technical jargon of all of this, but essentially the point is, like, the media has written a whole bunch of articles about this shit, and we still don't know what's going on. So that's Mar-a-Lago. Other than that, the other big news that happened this week was someone found a job listing on the IRS website where I guess they're looking to hire 40,000 new agents. But that's not all. They want these IRS agents to be trained to be able to use a gun and to shoot to kill if necessary. Now, that seems a little weird. Like, I'm
It's
not
a little
necessarily.
excessive. It's a little
Yeah,
unconstitutional. It makes me want to fucking push a bolt release and load around kind of feeling that I get. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, totally.
Like that puts, when you're at that point, that's how you're gonna come from the get-go. No. That is, you do not approach somebody like that with that kind of response for this kind of topic.
Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, the IRS is, they already use scummy tactics to get, money from people, but like now they can now it seems like and the best part of this is too is like, so someone found that job posting on the website, right? Took a screenshot of it. And then the IRS, once it got out on, I think, Twitter, I don't know who initially tweeted out, but someone found it. The IRS deleted the job post.
Oh yeah.
And then claimed that it was a 4chan, troll or something, but someone had posted on the Wayback Machine, and so they were able to prove that, in fact, the IRS did have this job posting up.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
the fact that they're hiding it, so between that and Trump getting raided, like they're not even trying to hide the fact that they're fucking, the deep state isn't even trying
mask
to
is
hide
off.
the fact.
Mask is fucking off.
Yeah, mask. Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if they were honest about it and we're just like, yeah, we're fucking with you. But they're lying about it. So yeah. So yeah. So so we've got, armed IRS agents who, that's pretty much the same thing as the mafia, shakedown. Now, literally at this point, like I literally cannot spot the difference between like Tony Soprano or like a Sopranos type character and an IRS agent at this point.
Well, here's the thing. A Sopranos mafioso type of gentleman, he talks with a really cool Italian-American accent. And he'll probably at some point while he's shaking you down say something about gabagool. That's what you get. You get entertainment out of your shakedown, at least when they're Italian.
Yeah. Yeah.
The IRS is like, excuse me, you didn't enter the right bracket for this tax thing that you're not deductible for, so we're pay us that money, please. Go ahead, all the money you worked for, go on. And meanwhile the Italian's like, hey, give me the fucking $50, huh? I was like, okay, well, you know what, all right, fair, okay, here's the $50.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is like when the mafia shakes you down, they'll tell you how much you owe. The IRS is like, well, we don't actually know what you owe. We know what you owe, but we're not going to tell you. So give us all your money anyway, and
let's see let's see everything you have and evaluate it.
Yeah.
Like, it's mafia don't care what you got, just have the money by Friday. The fucking IRS wants an account of everything you've bought since 1987, and it wants the receipts. You better have the fucking receipts.
They want receipts going back to 1987, even if you weren't born in 1987.
Exactly.
They still want your receipts. Yeah, it's just weird. So
all it's gonna take is those first few pop-offs with the IRS, and we're gonna go down a real bad path.
Well, so I always hear people like ask, when is Civil War going to happen, right? Like, at what point is this Civil War going to start? And I think we have the answer. It's going to be when you literally have IRS agents like coming to your door for taxes and sticking guns in your face. That's when it's gonna pop up.
I mean, I'm just gonna say, like, fucking Christ, we had a problem with being taxed on fucking tea, and somehow we've just been rolling over this shit the whole time. I don't know. I like to think that that's when it'll happen. Either they'll come for the guns, or the money that they just take from you, that is complete theft. It's hard to say though, because we have a nation have taken a lot and not blown up. So I'm kind of curious how much pressure in that situation we'll have to. I mean, the IRS already can be partially inept with its capability of collecting taxes. Look at streamers, NFT people, all this kind of shit, the crypto bros, they are fucking dinosaurs. And the reason why so many people slip through the cracks is that they don't have the fucking staff for it. And I don't think adding fucking Dog the Bounty Hunter, except he's a fucking high school hall monitor type motherfuckers, and giving him a gun, I don't think that's going to help them that much. I think it's going to hinder, unless that whole thing is to do it just to start to quietly push towards that Civil War. But then again, what does the business have to stand from? Where's the money to be made in a Civil War?
I mean, the other thing is, like, when pressed on it, they're claiming that it's fake, right? But like, what I want to know is, like, and obviously they're gonna lie their asses off about it, right? But even so, I would at least like to know what their reasoning for arming IRS agents are. That's what I want. So,
hey man, it's a rough economy. Some people just need fucking jobs. You know what I mean? Evil Eric says, I'm assuming it's a Civil War. It'll happen when people start full withdrawals of accounts from the banks to avoid frozen accounts, which will crash the banks. That's their goal. Don't put your money in banks. If you're going to put them somewhere, a credit union is not a bad choice. Your fucking mattress is also not a bad choice. Don't leave your money with the banks. That's asking for It's your money. Nobody needs to know how much money you have besides you. That's your right. That's what I say. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, at this point, our money is not going to be worth much anyway, with the way I think inflation is, and that's going to be the real kicker is when they come for your money. It'll be like, okay, it's not worth shit anyway. So
yeah, you're already at the point where the amount of people are being paid is just smaller and smaller. That's gone up so exponentially. So it's gonna be fucking, I think that'll go either one way. It'll be fine, fucking take it, I don't have shit anyway, or no, fuck you, this is all I've got, you've already taken enough from me. It's gonna be one of those fucking two spectrums to the reaction, or as a reaction rather.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, your tax man is getting armed. That's dystopian as fuck.
Yeah. So I'll tell it, man. Things are gonna get wild. But anyway, other than that, not really. I can't think of anything else that's really political in the news. In E-drama news, I guess. Ethan Ralph signed over his, or no, I guess he finally like signed custody papers to see Xander like on air, but I didn't see footage of it, and you know, I guess
Well, I've heard he's
now
gonna
he's
start
like
grifting
bitching
his
about it.
audience. Oh, well, he's always bitching about something. That's how he makes his money. Um, but I saw the clip of him stating that to fund these trips to California, he's just gonna grift off of his audience to do it. Which doesn't surprise me, and just kind of very quietly upsets me inside.
What else is new though? I mean, isn't that his entire shtick is grifting the audience?
Yeah, but it's still just. Uh, it's still like, man, this is about you being a father, and you have to have a special fundraiser. You can't even pull it out of what you make. I mean, granted, everything he does is a lie, so I know why he does it. But fuck if it doesn't make me hate that fat fuck a
Oh,
little.
oh, you mean he's starting a separate fundraiser?
Oh yeah, he's gonna do streams just to raise the money for the travel and the hotel and all that.
So
Stream
so he's
specific goal.
so he's adding another grift in addition to his existing grift.
Yeah,
Got
oh
it.
yeah, he's always got 2 or 3 grifts going on.
Yeah, he and Mersh both just endless, you know. Hey, we need a new BMW. We need, new lights for the Beamer or cat food or yeah. He and geez, no wonder he and Mersh have become buddies. They basically do the same things.
Oh yeah, they're
So
both the same level of fucking scumfuck that'll do that kind of shit.
yeah.
Like I understand, like if you put on a show and you make money from that show and sponsor and ads and all that shit, I understand that. I get that completely. But like specifically pulling off of your audience to do X or Y or to get X or Y specifically just because you fucking want it. Like that's so man, don't it's just not a good idea to because then you have things like people raising money for trips and then the trip doesn't form and then the money's never returned and it's never talked about.
Yeah, well, and then I mean the other thing too is kind of tying into what we were talking earlier with the R with the IRS and just kind of the state of the country in general. Like I don't see this this model of like streaming is not going to be like it's not going to be reliable as a source of income for a lot of people in the future anyway because as soon as well, I mean, at least I would hope as soon as, it becomes a choice between, like, feeding yourself or donating to your favorite streamer.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there are lots of stupid people who will just give their money anyway, so I'm not saying it'll completely dry up, but by and large, I bet you a lot of people are just gonna be like, I'm not giving to I'm not giving to streamers anymore."
Oh yeah, no, it's as the noose kind of starts to tighten on people in terms of, when it comes down to a gallon of gas or food again. I mean, we're already at that point with the gas rises, but like as it goes on, as the inflation starts to really hit and as we start to enter this next big financial crisis we're going to enter, um I think you'll definitely see less variety of people and more shows and streamers will survive off of a handful charity rather than many people giving.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that seems like how it's going to go down for the foreseeable future, at this point. So, that ought to be interesting. And then you were saying that, like, I guess Kino Casino is just falling apart, before before we started the show, but
Kino Casino is
that's
live
nothing
right
new.
now, and they are heavily drinking. It is a sloppy drunken stream with weirdness and bad camera and angry people on both sides, asking for likes, asking for donations. There has been topless fat men, stuttering, a lot of drinking. It is, oh boy, they're having a time at the casino.
Yeah, well, who could have seen that show falling apart? Certainly not me.
I mean, I think that's the point. The sort of half train wreck element is supposed to be the entertainment, but oh dear, I hope it doesn't come back to bite them too bad.
Yeah, hopefully not. Um. Anyway, though, that's all the news I have on my end. Now let's do the gaming news with Akba.
Okay. All right. So, as previously started in the first stream to try and buy time, I can touch on this a lot shorter now. The long-running mobile game Idolmaster Cinderella Girls is set to end service on March 30th, 2023, after 11 years of service. Originally a game conceived for Japanese phones specifically in 2011, soon following by with iOS and Android ports, respectively. New events will continue until December, with gacha drawings planned until December 16th. All Cinderella coin sales will cease on December 22nd. I was never much of a Cinderella Girls player. I liked the original series of Idolmaster too much, but I have been through a couple of mobile game shutdowns, and it's always somber and weird, and it kind of just serves more to that. We have these games now that are experiences that can really only be done during a lifespan, and on one hand, it's tragic that people won't be able to experience in the future. On the other hand, it's the good it does for people. Can do a lot. You can meet a lot of cool folks and stuff like that. But yeah, 11 years of service is pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah, that actually is. I know that last week we talked, or maybe it was the week before, we talked about the problem with like mobile gaming is the fact that it's like on phones, and phones basically they're not designed to do like full portable gaming and whatnot. But with that being said, are there any good mobile games out there in your experience?
I mean, it depends on how much you're willing to deal with in terms of what you want out of a mobile game. Everyone's different. Some people want 3D experiences, some people want 2D experiences. Excuse me. I don't do a lot of gaming on my phone. I could do a lot of emulator gaming. I kind of did for a small point during one of my old jobs where I'd play Lunar 2 on a PS1 emulator a lot. In terms of actual mobile games, I was a big fan of the Kingdom Hearts Union Cross mobile game. It was pretty simple. It was kind of more gacha focused, but it gave you a lot of the currency to run the little gambles for free. So I didn't really spend much money on it at all, other than for maybe an outfit or something like that. But that shut down because Square Enix hates us. Besides that, I play a game called Garage, which is a graphic adventure game, kind of like the old PC Leisure Suit Larry, King's Quest, Space Quest kind of games. But it is a dark Japanese horror fantasy, like really out there shit. It's super cool. It also has its now PC ports for this remade version. That's something fun I enjoy doing. I enjoy this little like sort of dungeon crawler-esque rogue-like-ish scenario kind of game called Buried Borns. BURIDBORNES. It is it's I suppose your actual like genre is dungeon RPG, but it's something really easy that you can just play, you know, at your own leisure in little spurts. But none of the games that I mentioned really require like fast inputs. Like I tried playing Final Fantasies First Soldier, their battle royale game that they had, and I hooked up my PlayStation 4 controller to it, and I was playing on a controller on this, even for an Xperia XC Premium, a fairly small screen, and I had some fun with it for a couple of matches, but I'm like, playing it like this is so not fun. I would rather just play this on a console or PC. And it's not that it even ran bad, it's just the screen size is terrible.
Yeah.
So, and I liked it. I wanted to like it. There wasn't much there anyway in terms of what people expect battle royale games to be. But for me, playing something with a controller on a phone just sort of seems counterintuitive, because I would rather play it on a laptop or an actual PC with a screen or a console. Even the Switch's screen would be a better improvement. Other than that, visual novels, anything slow. The old Final Fantasy re-releases are probably okay for the most part. Anything that doesn't require a lot of inputs. I know a lot of people like rhythm games, stuff like that, but for me, I don't know. I like the feeling of controllers. I always have, or mouse and keyboard, and so for touchscreen, I kind of only barely tolerate certain things. And most of the ones I mentioned are single player. There's no online live service. You can just play it whenever you want.
Right. Well, I mean, for me, as far as like mobile games, I mean, technically, I guess it's not like a mobile game per se, but like, I really did like the Telltale series Batman game. I know, shocker. Vickers and I like Batman.
I would have never guessed.
Which it's good. My problem is, like you, it's one I would much rather play on like the PlayStation or like the PC or something.
Yeah.
Just because like on a mobile game, on like a mobile phone, like it runs okay. It runs better on an iPad, but the problem is, since it's a 3D game, it really does use intense graphics, and I mean it can do it, but your phone is going to get hot, and um and anyone will tell you heat is not your phone battery's best friend at all. So,
No, that's the thing, is that phones, other than gaming phones, aren't meant to vent heat the same way any kind of computer would be. So when you're really pumping it and it's not designed to have a fan to push out that heat, that it can get really intense, and that's not fun. You don't want to hold a hot device, even if you're clamping it to your controller. It's still a big old fucking heat source.
oh yeah, totally. Yeah, so it's just not fun at all. But I mean, I guess hopefully hopefully, like, what I'm hoping is, like, I know there's the Stream Deck out there, and like I'm really hoping that this will kind of bring back the whole emergence of like the pocket gaming console, because I mean,
Oh dear,
you know,
Sam. Hold on. You're good, I think. You're hoping it brings back the whole console pocket. What now?
I was hoping I'm hoping that this brings back the console, the pocket console gaming thing. Lineup like the PS Vita, and like I know the Switch is already out there, but like as far as I can tell, that and the Switch and the Steam Deck are the only two like portable game consoles out there, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No. There are many. That, but they're PCs. That's the difference. They're specifically PCs. There are the WinGPD series, which are kind of smaller laptop based ones. They release their own Switch style portable. A lot of companies are releasing Switch style portables. I, for instance, use GPD Win Max, which is, think of a very small laptop, probably smaller than most tablets nowadays. And inside the laptop, you have a full-on keyboard, but you have regular game controls. So you have Vita buttons, you have a Vita D-pad, you have 2 Vita-style joysticks, and then you have shoulder buttons at the top of the laptop. So built into this little laptop, and again, very small, is a full set of game controls. The screen is also touchscreen, so you can do typical Android emulation, stuff like that. Use your touchscreen as normal. The portable market is there, but it is an expensive barrier to entry for most. That's why people are still with phones so much.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, the PS Vita, like, and especially we talked about this last week, like, back in the day, the PSP was like, the shit. But
oh yeah, it could do everything.
Sony hasn't done anything. Sony hasn't done anything since the Vita, and I'm like, why? They should. Like, they're missing out.
They botched the Vita. They botched the Vita, and Nintendo has the handheld market down too hard. They always have, and they always will. And I don't think Sony can put anything in a device that would be worthwhile to consumers that their phone can't already do. Ultimately, even with their own Sony phones kind of lacking in the smartphone market, I think they're just realizing that, oh dear, we're getting tapped by the government again. I think they realized that they're fighting a war they can't win in the portables market.
Really, the Vita was that much of a fuck up then, huh?
Not. It was how they handled the Vita. The problem is that the Vita didn't have great launch support. The Vita didn't get good life support, and it just they kind of gave up on it midway, and then they really gave up on it at the end. It could have been something, even with its kind of middling technology, but because it's Sony, it's so obtuse in what it tries to do with the device that it's like nobody uses a lot. It's not a PDA. It won't function like that. And I think part of it was them trying to grab what they grabbed with the PSP audience, because it was, at the time, having a music player was super fucking hot. So having something you could watch videos, do music on, and play these cool games, that was great. But now when every device can do all that rest, you have to have really good games. And not to say the games for the Vita were bad. They were absolutely good. But it's that it was a lot of, it did very well in Japan compared to America. And I think part of that was just the games that they got out and the different game markets for the Japanese. The Japanese are well okay with RPGs, tactical RPGs, and visual novels. Americans aren't. They wanted their Call of Duties. They wanted their Marvel versus Capcoms. They wanted, fucking SOCOM, I guess. Daxter from the PSP. And the thing is, it ran PSP games too. So there was kind of that double value, but even then that wasn't enough because Sony never had handheld IPs. They rocked it in the PSP era because their graphics were so good, but they failed to both use their mascots unofficially properly and build more of their own. What sells in some of the most hardcore cases, what sells Nintendo handhelds is Pokemon and Mario Brothers.
Yep.
and Zelda if it's there, like the core Nintendo franchises. Those have games only on the handheld that are fucking bomb. And that's kind of always been Sony's problem of why they could never really push to that next echelon. They've never really had their strong mascots. And if they have, they've neglected them.
I don't think. Yeah, they've definitely had some. They have Ratchet and Clank, and they have I know
Jack
now
and
they have
Daxter,
Spider-Man.
Parappa, Nathan Drake. No, they can even rely on some Metal Gear stuff. They have mascots, 100. But during the PS3 era, especially, they didn't think about PlayStation All-Star Battles or Battle Royale or All-Star Smash Brothers, PlayStation Smash Brothers. That did terribly because they didn't celebrate their roster enough and have enough fun with it. They brushed the developer and they didn't do anything to make it on a super fun technical level.
Right.
And the thing is too, you have to remember.
I do remember when that came out. It just seemed like
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. It seemed like
I was gonna say I do remember that era, and it seemed like they just kind of brushed on because Nintendo had their all-star roster.
Ratchet disappeared for a while. Jack and Daxter disappeared for a while. Parappa's been MIA for as long as I can imagine, and it fucking pains me. Twisted Metal's fucking gone. Uncharted is Uncharted, but I still don't know how many people really care that much about Uncharted. But the thing is that, and this was part of Sony's problem in the beginning with the PlayStation 1 was they only had mascots for people who wanted to try to fill that, and they never really embraced them and gave them the support they needed. Crash Bandicoot was one of the earliest Sony's mascots and the strongest. And while they did a lot to push those games as front runners, they didn't take care of that IP and who was working on it moving into the PS2 era.
Right. I do remember like Sly the thieving tycoon, but that was in Ratchet and Clank. But like those are the only two really mascots out of that era that I remember. So
yeah, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus was a fantastic PlayStation 2 only game.
And Jack and Daxter.
You want to get really specific, you could have Gene from God Hand if you could figure out who owns the rights to that. Like there were so many, especially now, legendary games that like you could do stuff with, you could want to, but Sony's way of publishing and handling its studios has been a level of hands off. And even then, let's say, right, that they have this property that blows the fuck up. Do you know what they do with it, Sam?
Nothing.
Exactly. So not only is that why they never even tried considering making a Bloodborne game or any kind of Souls game for the Vita, it is also why Bloodborne has sat in stagnation since its last patch and DLC and had nothing. No re-release, no remake, no care about it, no form of anything to make one of their hottest games for that entire console something that they can turn into the brand, something that they can have people look at Bloodborne and say, PlayStation, good. When you look at Mario, you think Nintendo. When you look at Link, you think Nintendo. When you look at the Bloodborne Hunter, you should think PlayStation, and you don't. You think Bloodborne.
Right. Yeah. So they just don't really tie their IPs to their console brands that well, it seems. So
and nor do they push them or give them the support. They kind of let them do their own thing, and if the studio fucks it up, they kind of fuck it up a little bit. And that's just on look at the development of Ratchet and Clank and how long it took for that series to kind of come back into good graces and to be something.
Well, shoot, when I was a kid and that series was big, they were coming out with games like every 2 years or or almost like every year and a half, it seemed like.
Yep.
But yeah, now, but like, yeah, and then they just spaced it out forever. So
We got like one or two games out on the PS3, and then one on the PS4 that was kind of half baked, and then the PS5 one that's good. And it's just one of those things because it's the nature of how they do their publishing, how they handle their own developers and stuff like that.
yeah. Well,
So
and plus, I mean, it's Insomniac, and they make good games. So mostly.
yeah, they do. But yeah, no. In terms of Sony being in the mobile game market, I think they know that there's nothing there for them really, and that at the end of the day, as business, they'll just be wasting money.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
a shame. I miss the
yeah.
era of Sony products.
Yeah, no, it is a shame because like listen, like I told you a few weeks ago, like I ran my PSP into the ground basically. Like
Oh yeah.
like when it died, it died. And
It went out, yeah.
yeah. So
no, it's I hope one day maybe, but I think the nature of the portable market is just evolving. I think it had its place in history, and we're just kind of now at the point where the desire for such things has changed, or how we have them, I think.
yeah. Yeah, it's a
It's a sign of the times.
Yeah, I mean it's weird too because like I know you can remote play on like a phone, but like I said, who wants to do that, and like, that just seems weird. So
It's a different feeling, but when you grow up with it and it's all you know is mobile, it will become that norm and kind of
yeah, I
they'll accept it
guess.
to be. Yeah. So, other than that,
What
in
else do we
game
have in
news,
news?
after 28 years, somebody found a fucking cheat code for Super Punch Out that allows you to play 2-player mode. You there, Sam?
Really?
Yes. Oh, come on. I was
I'm
hoping
here.
28 years, nobody knew this cheat was in there. Nobody said anything. No, it never got out. And they're just now finding that there's a 2-player mode.
Wow.
It's I love to see it.
Someone sure has time on their hands.
I mean, it's now we have the way that games can be opened up and broken down. The amount of stuff we can start to find is insane, and especially back then, where like a dev would have just put something in and told nothing. There's no way that's one off. That had to have been common practice. Now I don't know whether or not it was some sort of test function. But there were also codes found for a sound test and a Japanese name input. So it could have been something that wasn't fully supposed to be out, and maybe that's why it wasn't said, but there was a way to do it with the controller. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that does seem cool.
So in other news of things that are not so cool that seem a little worrisome, the live action Pac-Man movie is now in the works from Wayfair, Bandai Namco exclusive.
Oh no.
Yep. I mean,
why?
well, the project will be based on an original idea from Chuck Williams, credited for Sonic the Hedgehog, of Lightbeam Entertainment. There are also people who are working to produce on behalf of Wayfair Studios, and yeah.
So here's my thing, like, who thinks this is a good idea? Because like, they made a movie based off of like Max Payne, but it was like Max Payne and like name only. They barely followed the original game's plot, and it tanked. They did like they've done like 2 Hitman movies, and like each of them being remakes, and they're not that great. I think they did like what 2 Sonics, and they got the one right.
Oh no, they got both right.
Oh really? Really? You liked both of them?
I mean, the bar's low. Don't get me wrong, but they're not abominations for what they are.
Okay.
The big thing is like, even if like you don't like 2 or whatever how it did thing, the thing is that they're actually legitimately trying. And I noticed that with Sonic 1 when they're like, okay, we'll redesign him if you guys don't like this. And it turned out to be the best move for him because they made a ton of money and everyone loved it and all that. But no. I think that's maybe why they think they can get away with something like this. I don't know if there's enough substance in Pac-Man, even if you go into the extended Pac-Man canon.
Yeah, no, it just seems like video game movies don't do that well, I guess.
Tron did great. Tron Legacy of as a sequel did great.
Yeah, well, yeah, Tron is kind of the exception to the rule.
No, Resident Evil films, garbage. Blood Rain, garbage. I'm pretty sure I remember the Hitman's not being that great, or at least nothing special.
But the Resident Evil movies have Mila Jovovich, and she's hot, or so that's what everyone tells me.
They look fine as movies, but as a video game fan of those video games, they are fucking garbage, given what stories they could tell. A lot of these movies will look good, but just they're the story. Doom, fantastic, and then it's just most of that movie is just not worth it. The Hitman, Tomb Raider was one of those, and it's like, okay, I would rather watch a James Bond film,
Yeah, Tomb Raider was just, let's see Angelina Jolie's big titties. That's what that was.
Yeah, and they weren't even that crazy. At least me as a kid don't remember her boobs being that crazy. Like, I was focusing on the story and the action. That should tell you something as a boy.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely remember having the hots for Angelina Jolie as a kid. Damn, I cannot speak. I definitely remember having the hots for her, but Tomb Raider was not one of those films that was like a standout role for her.
God no.
Yeah.
Postal was good, but for reasons that aren't technically Postal, and I know some people are kind of split on that, because if I remember who is the director of it, it's because of the director, people don't like Uwe Boll, but I think he's always earnest in what he does. I thought it was a fun side schlock film, kind of Postal related, rather than being part of the Postal verse. Silent Hill 1 was okay-ish until Silent Hill 2 came out, which made it look like a fucking modern art piece, because Silent Hill 2 was so god awful as a movie. Or there were Silent Hill Revelations 3D, I think was the name of the movie.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
I don't remember the Alone in the Dark film, and I think that says a lot just by itself.
Yeah.
I can't think of many other video game movies that at least are bad enough for me to remember.
Yeah, no, I can't really remember any of them either. So
let me pull up a list. I mean, we're talking Pac-Man. So like, the bar is pretty low on things you could do. Angry Birds, like, okay, I guess that's a thing you can do. Detective Pikachu, which isn't really a game movie, is a game movie. Oh, Mortal Kombat, the first one. That one's great. It's dumb, but it's great. And Mortal Kombat 2 released like 2 years after in 95, I think,
Yeah,
or 3. Dumb but
I
great.
do. Yeah, I do. I do remember that they had like a really cheesy like B movie like Street Fighter, movie.
Oh yeah, Street Fighter the movie. That's fun for bad reasons. That movie is great for just
Yeah,
enjoying a bad movie.
that's one of those movies that's like so bad it's good.
Exactly.
So.
Oh, Mortal Kombat, the new one, it was kind of okay. It wasn't offensive to me as a video game movie or a Mortal Kombat movie. I just wish they did more. I didn't know that they released another Tomb Raider movie in 2018. Did you?
Yes, I did, and I've tried to forget that it exists.
Okay, that tells me because it looks like the new Lara anyway, and I'm like, oh fuck no. I forgot there was a
Yeah,
Rampage movie.
that's exactly what they were going for.
New Lara.
Let
Yeah.
me kind of So let me just like kind of fill you in on. I never saw it, but like I saw the Critical Drinkers review of it on YouTube, and that's pretty much all I needed to see. Like, okay, granted that like Lara Croft was never Angelina Jolie's best role, but at least she looks good as Lara Croft,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, she has that kind of like
This
stern cut look to her.
yeah, this chick like tries to be like so hard to be like a hardened badass chick that like she overdoes it, I guess, a bit.
Yeah.
So it's
Which is
like,
how it
I mean,
feels like. The thing is, if I may, people forget how
yeah.
dumb Tomb Raider 1 is.
Oh yeah,
They
it's
forget the
very dumb.
dinosaurs, they forget the demons, they forget the blood walls and all of that shit. They forget the ancient race trying to rebirth itself. They forget all of that. And all Tomb Raider ever does now is boil itself down to female protagonist, hard life treasure hunter Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
And then I go, did any of you actually play Tomb Raider 1? Because I did. Fuck Tomb Raider 1 at the end.
Yeah. No, it's well, I mean, here's the whole thing with, and it's not just with like Tomb Raider, it's with like Uncharted too. Like those games are like fantasy, games.
Yeah, absolutely.
To begin with, like they're not meant to be taken like super seriously to begin with. So like, why take them seriously? Like like even the James Bond movies to a certain extent like are not meant to be taken all that seriously. Now you can argue that like during the Craig era they they got like a lot more serious then, but like by and large they were just fun movies, and
Yeah.
so were the games. You were going to go on a 007 adventure for 2 hours or something, an hour and a half, and
Yeah.
just see, a show, and that was it. So, but now like all these movies have to take themselves seriously for one reason or another. But
Mm-hmm.
so now we're scraping the bottom of the barrel with Pac-Man the movie. Okay.
I mean, remember we had a Rampage game or a movie in 2018, and I know nobody fucking remembers Rampage that much. Fucking
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that until you mentioned it. So.
we had a Prince of Persia movie. You remember that?
Oh yeah, we did.
Uh-huh. We also had a Dead or Alive movie. You remember that? 2006
No.
Dead or Alive?
I I know I had no idea that that was a video game movie. I just thought that that was a horror movie in general.
No,
So
no, not at all. Warcraft in 2016. You had Mario Brothers in 1993. What else? Oh, we had the Need for Speed movie in 2014 with Aaron Paul. Because yeah, I
yeah.
guess. Wait, did we have multiple Lara Croft movies? Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Oh yeah, we did have The Cradle of Life. She did a sequel to that movie. I forgot.
Who, Angelina Jolie or?
Angelina Jolie. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Actually, looking at the first poster now, no, she does got the tits for it. I just didn't notice as a boy, I guess.
yeah. Yeah, because the girl. Well, that just speaks to how much of a perv I've been
We know
from
where
the
those eyes
beginning.
are going, Sammy.
From the beginning. So
Uh, let's see. Yeah, Blood Rain, Postal, Wing Commander. Nobody fucking knows Wing Commander. In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege tale. Oh yeah, the Dungeon Siege movie that's fucking god awful that Uebo did that I don't like because I actually like Dungeon Siege. That was bad. House of the Dead was bad. Also by Uebo. God damn it, he's made a lot of bad. Oh, he's the one that made Alone in the Dark. Man.
yeah.
And like Postal, I think was his only good one in my opinion. And people will argue me on that. And then we had the Ratchet and Clank movie. That was a CGI movie that actually was pretty good.
Yeah, I actually did watch the CGI one with like my younger sister once, and that was it was fun. It was, it wasn't great, but it was fun, which I mean, I guess is kind of the point.
That's all
So,
you can ask for, really, at the end of the day. But yeah, no. So Pac-Man is going to enter this fray, and I mean, I hope it's something. That'd be cool. But I'm
well,
not expecting much.
let me put it this way. My hope isn't for good. My hope is for it's not bad, I
Well,
guess.
yeah, yeah. I'll lower the bar too. I hope it's not bad.
Yeah.
But if it's the same people who
So,
working on it who did Sonic the Hedgehog, I think there's a good chance.
yeah, yeah, hopefully. So,
All right.
uh,
So
let's see what
next,
else.
big news. THQ Nordic has teased a new South Park development game, or the development of a new South Park game, and they did so right at the end of their digital showcase, which I believe was today or yesterday.
Oh wow.
Um, and they had did it with as of today, THQ Nordic, Handy Games Not Included, has 43 games in development, therefore 26 still unannounced after this showcase. And then they scribbled out the 26 and added 25 to the voice clip of Randy Marsh going, hot, 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 in the background. The first slide then reappears stating that there's that, and then the digital studios follows that. So, yeah, boy, we're getting a third
That's
South Park
funny.
game. Fuck yes, let's go. Let's fucking go. Those are some of my most favorite games. Both Stick of
And you
Truth
know
and
what's fun?
Fractured Butthole.
Yeah, you know what's funny is like when I first heard that they were going to do a South Park game back in the day, which was Stick of Truth. I'm like, oh god, these are gonna be terrible, and they were
Just like
actually
64. Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The best. The fucking best. Like, it's not like they're super deep or complex games, but they're funny games. And that is something that is so hard to see in video games that are naturally non-stop fucking funny.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's South Park, right? It's
Right.
not supposed to be, it's supposed to be funny, and the fact that they were able to do that was great.
So
So,
I am excited. So we've done fantasy RPG, we've done superhero RPG. God, I cannot wait for what's next. I cannot wait. Maybe it'll be cops and robbers. Maybe it'll be the Wild West, right? Maybe we'll get a South Park Western game.
Maybe.
That would be dope.
Maybe that would be dope. So I mean, I'm surprised they haven't parodied like Yellowstone on the show yet or anything like that. So maybe they'll do in game. I don't know.
Maybe they'll do. I mean, this is just me fucking. But maybe they'll do like fucking Miami Vice shit and fucking Scarface type shit.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious if they
We're
did
playing
that.
1980s. I know whatever it'll be amazing.
I could totally see like Cartman as like a Tony Montana type.
Yeah, but like, or like maybe they'll do it like with the fried chicken and shit like that. In the way that they did the KFC episode, treating it like it was a drug game. Oh, that'd be great.
Oh yes, that's exactly what they need to do. So
you could have like 80s rockers and fucking, the cartel dudes, and the fucking goths would just be 80s goths and shit. It'd be fucking great. So I'm looking forward to that. I cannot wait for more details. I hope it is, again, as the previous, nothing that tie in with the show and is its own part of its own separate universe that it has established thus far.
Yeah.
So with that, two more pieces of news. One is that it's kind of so fighting games had a big week. They had Evolution Evo, which is the biggest fighting game term in the world. They shared a couple different things, some stuff I want to touch on, some stuff really quick that I'll just blow through. For Guilty Gear Strive, Bridget has finally arrived. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. New Fatal Fury game is coming. Cool. Let's see what they do and hope things are going to be good to go. Kimberly and Jury have been revealed for Street Fighter 6. I love me some Jury for all the right reasons. The new Tekken project has been pretty much confirmed in works. Tekken 7 receiving more support, so look forward to Tekken 8 coming soon. King of Fighters has a new slew of DLC characters, including those from Samurai Showdown. Dragon Ball Fighter Z is getting rollback netcode with a catch, which is upgrading kind of thing, only for next gen consoles and PC. So if you don't have next gen, you're fucked out of luck, which is dumb, but okay. Netcode rollback netcode is super important. Another announcement. Maria's coming to Skullgirls. Let's fucking go. It's about time. I hate that fucking boss. Make her a character that I can beat the shit out of nonstop. Thank you. Crossplay for King of Fighters 15 and rollback for Samurai Showdown. Great thing for King of Fighters. Great thing for Sam Show. Actually, great thing for any game to get rollback. The Guilty Gear Strive Season 2 roadmap has been released. They are for Persona 4 Arena Ultimax netcode update drops. So thank God. I love me some Ultimax. I hate the games, but man, they're stylish. And Marvel vs. Capcom 2 meets up with Arcade 1-Up to work on a special Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet, which I'm super excited about because Marvel 2 is what the game that got me into, like, seriously got me into fighting games. I grew up playing fucking, Killer Instinct and Soul Blade and Soul Calibur, but I didn't really start to get into fighters until that Marvel hype started to flow through my fucking veins.
Yeah.
So I might pick one of those up.
I am surprised that Marvel has not done like an Injustice.
What do you mean? Like,
excuse me. I'm surprised because like DC actually had I know it's not a great fighting game, but like DC actually did fairly decent with Justice, and I'm surprised that Marvel hasn't done its
Well, no. You need to go back and give credit where credit is due. DC didn't have any hand in Injustice and why it was good. That can all go to NetherRealms. That can all go to the Mortal Kombat folks. Anything that they touch in their fighting game engine with how they do things is gonna be good. That's why that was good, because otherwise, DC games usually are kind of rocky.
Yeah. Gotham Knights. Yeah.
So I mean, we haven't seen anything new out of the Marvel series since. I don't really want to acknowledge the last Marvel versus game that came out, but you know what I'm talking about. So since Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate, they've not really had any good Marvel fighting games. I wish they would, but because of the nature of who owns Marvel and how all that shit gets handled, I don't foresee it happening ever again in a good way. I'd love to be proven wrong, but
yeah, I mean, and people say, well, what about Ultimate Alliance? Well, technically, Ultimate Alliance wasn't a fighting game. It was more like an RP. And I mean, I loved Ultimate Alliance when it came out. I logged hours on that game. But yeah, Marvel really, well, I mean, Spider-Man, but like they haven't like a whole, but like they've had good individual character games. They haven't had like great universe game. Since the Ultimate Alliance games. So
yeah,
but
for Marvel, and in this case, they will soon be having a chance for you to experience all that arcadey goodness. And the nice thing is that the whole thing is a full-size cabinet, or planned to be adult-sized. Pre-orders will go live next month at $599 USD. And to help kind of counter this cost, know that you're not just buying Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That is the main game. That is a feature game. But you will also be receiving Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men, Children of the Atom, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, and Marvel Superheroes in the War of the Gems. And those are that's a good selection of games, because there are some good games in that. So if you're a fan of Marvel and you're a fan of the classic Marvel fighting games, and you have the room in your living accommodations to support a kind of slimmed down, almost full-size cab, this will be one to look at for you. And also me, because God, I love me some Marvel, baby. I love me some fucking Marvel vs. Capcom. That shit has college memories up, left, down, and center. So I probably So yeah, that's that is the Evo fighting game quick news wrap up.
Alrighty, and then what else do we have?
The last thing, and this is big to me, big surprise. The Elden Ring patch for 1.06 has come out, and I am at this moment loading my gun. Why? Yes?
I mean, listen.
I am booking a flight to Bandai Namco Japan, and I'm going to go exact vengeance.
So listen, I just got you as a co-host. I can't be. If you go, I'm gonna have to hire Anus as a co-host, and we all know how that's gonna go. So
gloriously, as Apex and Anus will set your show on fire. So Elden Ring patch 1.06 has dropped, and there are a lot of things that have happened. Some stuff has gotten fixed. Some things have gotten slightly changed in terms of how they function. And just a good chunk of bug fixes, some little stuff here and there. And then they get to the balance changes. Let's get to the fucking balance changes that they made for this game that is primarily designed as a fucking single player with co-op sometimes RPG, where PvP is nothing really more than an afterthought and never was intended to be more than an afterthought. Are you ready to go down this patch list of changes, Sam, before I lose my fucking lid?
Sure.
Okay. Oh boy.
Go off, fam. Go off.
All right. So they added a few adjustments for the following: to great swords, curved great swords, and great hammers. That's cool. That's fine. I don't care. Reduce the time it takes for rolling to become possible after an attack, i.e. jump attacks, dual wield attacks, and attacks while mounted not included. So a bunch of shit that doesn't fucking matter, because if I can't roll out of a jumping attack, you've pretty much fucked me. Increase the motion speed of strong attacks and charged attacks. Mounted attacks not included. That's fine. Speed it up. We can use that. Sure. Increase the guard counter's motion speed. That's fine. Make it a little easier. Who the fuck cares? Increase the attack speed of great axes and reduce the time it takes for to follow with rolling after it becomes possible for attacking again. That's fine. You're making it faster. You're doing a lot better. Increase rolling distances when player has a light load equipped. That's great. You should have a benefit for light rolling other than a quicker open and end box for your hitboxes, as well as your iframes. Increase the hitboxes for the Cypher Pata's weapon skill, Unblockable Blade. Perfect. They needed that. Absolutely cool. Increase the range of the Ash of War Glintstone Pebble and Glintstone Dark Projectile while decreasing the damage and staggering power. I can understand this. You're not actually investing in being a mage. The spells you are able to pull off through some fucking fuckery should not be that strong. That makes sense. Okay, that's cool. Shorten the activation interval when using the quick step skill in succession, increasing its ability to circle around the enemy while locked on, and adding the changes below of reducing the performance while used continuously and increase travel distance when on light equip load. Okay, sure, fine, makes sense. You're just kind of like pushing yourself off to the side. All right, that makes sense. Decrease the target tracking ability for the sorcery Stars of Ruin. You know, that end game spell that's supposed to be really strong? No, we're going to fuck your targeting ability on that, because go fuck yourself. Decrease the damage and bleed buildup of the weapon skill Corpse Piler when hit with the bloody attack. When hit with the blade, the damage only decreases slightly. They took one of the most meta weapons, one of the most strongest weapons in the game, and nerfed it into normalcy, or at least the ground. Not into the dirt. But basically, it was a sword that was quite good and allowed most people to get through most of the game without too much frustration. You didn't have to learn too much, but, it worked. And it was nice to feel a little overpowered once you put the investment in. And then, Sam, they did the worst to me. You want to know how they massacred my boy?
How did they massacre your boy?
Decrease the travel distance and invincibility iframes of the Ash of War Bloodhound Step while adding the changes below. Reduce performance when used continuously. Increase travel distance when on light equip load. One of those is fine. The other is garbage. So let me explain to you this. So the Dodgehound Step, or the Bloodhound Step, is like Quick Step, where you kind of push off and dash to the side. Actually, you can dash in any direction, front, left, forward, back, and you kind of push with your body. Whereas with Quick Step, if somebody shot you and you're going straight, they can still hit you in the middle of that push off, right? With Bloodhound Step, you are invisible. You push off and you fade out immediately, and then when you come to land, you fade back in. It was a skill and technique that you could use to not only gain massive distance, but avoid being hit in very dangerous situations while circling an enemy or a group. When you reduce the performance to use it continuously, i.e. you're invulnerable for less and less, it makes its speciality a lot less special. Decreasing the distance and the amount of iframes completely defeat the point of the skill and nerf it into the ground. Because the thing about Bloodhound Step And I say this as somebody who's come at going Millennia a lot of times with fists only. If you use Bloodhound Step to dodge Millennia's attacks, you will both go too far and you'll warp back in too slow to really capitalize on the punishments of her missed attacks. For instance, she has one where she pulls back and she lunges forward to stab you straight. Very simple attack. If you Bloodhound Step to the side or around her, by the time you start to get out of it, run, and do your attack, especially with fists up close, she will have already turned around, exiting her attack animation, and dodge you. However, if she runs for that stab and instead you do a normal dodge roll, just a simple roll, kind of forward and to the right because you can control it a little bit more, it will not only completely miss you, you'll be not only ready to go, but on top of her within a quarter of a second to punish her missing. Bloodhound Step was a safety net for you to learn enemies. It wasn't a get out of jail free card. And in fact, if you could just dodge roll stuff, you'd do a lot better. So I guess you can probably surmise that I haven't updated Elden Ring yet. And I'm never going to. And I'm giving up on Modern Online.
Better turn off auto update too.
Already did. I have a separate EXE launcher that won't force it to update through Steam. I am sticking on 1.5 where the world makes sense. Fuck, man. Still no announcement on the DLC.
And shoot, now I was actually gonna buy Elden Ring this weekend, but
you still should. You still should. For normal play, okay, let me explain. For normal players, this isn't too much of a big deal. There's so much stuff you can do. It's just because for me, I play using only punches, so I need a certain set of tools and things, and other weapons I ran with a lot, like the Rivers of Blood. So I hate seeing something that was really good nerfed because Elden Ring is only as hard as you make it, you know. And if the game's going to be busted, it allows you to be busted if you put in the work.
I get that. I remember they didn't. I remember they didn't nerf. Well, they kind of did. In one of the last updates for RDR2, they kind of nerfed the honor system in the sense they made it like so much harder for your high honor to stay up there. And the other thing they did is there used to be like a thing where like you could like hijack a train and like bring it somewhere hidden and like rob it, and it was nice because like the cops wouldn't, the sheriffs wouldn't follow you in. Now you can literally like be in the middle of nowhere with no one around, rob a train, and there will be a fucking witness that will like alert the sheriffs and whatnot. And I was just like, how? This makes no sense. I'm literally out there in the middle of fucking nowhere. There's not a person to be seen around. I've already robbed everyone on the train. Like how is the army brigade showing up? But anyway,
that was a big failure I felt of Red Dead Online, that you couldn't just rob trains in the open world or like have the mini games to defend them.
No, you couldn't do that. And yes, Sandwich, I did play a Lego Star Wars on PS2. Fellow, I did. But Lego Star Wars on PS, well, yeah, those games are just now becoming like microtransaction ridden like everything else. So
oh dear Lord.
So yeah. But yeah, well, sorry for sorry for your loss, Ekaba. Like I said,
Sorry for the people's loss. I'm safe on 1.05, where everything makes sense in the world.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to this nerfing nonsense. Like, that's the thing that upsets me. It's primarily a single player game. Let there be powerful shit. Like,
yeah,
let the fun be fun. The PvPers, they're not going to really keep the game going that hard. For this, it's a lot of co-op, and co-op doesn't need that much balance.
no. Well, like I said, multiplayer everything is kind of getting overrated now. So,
and that's why also I like it, is because it doesn't have to be. I know plenty of people who are big Souls fans that they always just play it offline. They remove the human, and Elden Ring makes it a lot easier because of their spirit summons. So it's even more so in that vein of why,
Yeah, one of my good personal friends actually texted me, and this actually made me funny. He's like, I interact with people all day at my job, because he works in Congress, right? So he's like, I interact with people all day at my job. I go to the bar and I interact with people more. When I get home and I turn on my console, why the fuck would I want to interact with anyone else online? I just want to be alone and zone out and do my own thing. And
Yep.
the way he said it was hilarious. Just with that desperation of, why the fuck would I want to socialize with anyone?
Yeah, that fed up, like, really, it's such a dumb question. Why? Come on, like, yeah, no, absolutely. That's one of those things why I really like Death Stranding so much, is because while it was a fully connected online game, people couldn't fuck with you. They could only help you. And that made me like people a lot more. I was like, I never had a thing of, oh, you fucker, you're invading me, you're ruining my co-op session, you're making me have to wait till I get rid of your dumb ass, and I have to wait a fucking counter again and all this shit. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, this guy left a little ladder here for me to cross. How nice. Oh, look, a rope. Thank you, dude. It was complete, like, different viewing on human beings.
Yeah.
And Death Stranding was just a game about walking. It shouldn't have been that fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, RuneScape back in the day used to be fun too.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember back in the day when people would actually be like nice on RuneScape too. You would like be a new player, and like people would help you like go from town to town, and it was nice.
It was a sense of community.
Yeah, and then Jagex had to get on the whole Gamergate protest. The ironic thing is that Gamergate killed their entire fan base. So.
I had heard about when Medicare was talking about the RuneScape community and all that shit. And I was like, oh boy, that sucks. That community's been around for fucking ever. I understand completely why they just want to have their video game.
That was actually my first. I wouldn't say I don't even remember what my first exposure to Mr. Medicare was. I do remember like that was when that might have been my first, for all I know. I can't really remember at this point, but I do remember when he was talking about how like they did the gay pride stuff, and like even people in the forums were like, I'm gay, but I just want to play RuneScape. Like,
yeah, it's like, I'm just here to mine fish, man. I'm not trying to do that.
So,
which it's at a shit point when that's where it's at, that people are telling you like, man, just someone play the game, man. Come on, like, that's your sign to probably stop.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, COD doesn't do that either.
Oh,
Every especially on like COD Mobile, which I play on the iPad, it's like every season or iteration around June. It's like Rainbow AK-47, and I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to. Like it's
Go ahead.
like it like great. It's great. It's cool, but like I don't need the advertisement to be forced. Like yeah, give an option in the store, but like I don't want one.
I hate gun skins and custom. They're always the most tackiest shit ever. They're never cool. They're
They
always
are.
god awful. And then they just do shit like that. I'm like, why? I hate and I just go even if it's outside of the game and a company does some shit. I'm like, stop that. That's the dumbest thing. Square Enix had like a fucking LGBTQ plus or whatever mascot for Pride Month this year or last year, and I was like, why? It's not in a video game. You're making this merch that nobody's gonna care about, and it looks why. You just make me hate you more. And then they just kept doing it. And I was like, fuck. It's fuck. I hate video games sometimes.
Yeah, no, so do I. I love them, but I hate them. And the fellow goes, Sammy, you should play Last Day on Earth. You can be in my group. I feel like I've heard of that, but I don't really like. I kind of know what that is, but not really. So
I've never heard of it. Let me see what the Google can tell me real quick. It's a survival game. Looks like some sort of top-down survival game. Looks like an interesting premise.
Ash, your fellow anime dude wants to. The man who wants to come on and keck.
Okay, yeah, all good. It's your fucking show, Sammy. Shit, I'm just holding shit up as much as I can. Your wheelchair is heavy, so you know, like it'll get a little tiring sometimes.
Yeah. I know. I know.
Gotta hold it, especially at the beginning where you're like, all right, let's start, and then you just drop, and I'm like, well, I'll hold up the wheelchair for as long as I can, I guess.
Well, I mean, blame the CIA glow in the darks for.
Oh, I blame
that.
the CIA for everything.
So, which also, side note, as of yesterday, RIP 5 years, Terry Davis.
Yeah.
So
that is Terry is a fascinating story.
I feel bad because I know the man has schizophrenia, and I know it's real, and I know it's legit. But like on one hand, I find it sad. On the other hand, I find it hilarious. And then on like another hand, I'm like, wow, for a guy with schizophrenia, this guy called shit out pretty accurately, actually.
Oh, it's insane. It's insane. Fella, I'll also agree. God said it best, 640 by 480. Terry is someone I would hope that would be talked about in computer history classes, or programming history classes in higher academia, because he is such a fascinating case of what happens when you have a brilliant mind that goes schizophrenic, who is so smart he can channel through all of that negativity and still do something amazing. And that's the thing, like there is a lot of funniness to him, there's a lot of truth to him, there's a lot of genius to him in things that he says. Like I think the clip of him remembering that, like mid conversation with his parents, that like he doesn't remember why he loves them or something, and he's sorry for like the moment of clarity will break your heart. But in the other way, he's talking about Bill Gates's herd of basketball American cattle. And yes, it seems insane, but when you think about how he says all these MIT basketball American cattle have blinders on and that they can't think, and they're a docile herd of basketball American cattle, you really start to understand from a technology perspective when you see all these people at Google who overlook things that company does, at Amazon who overlook what that company does, who are smart in the tech engineering field that let all these kinds of politics and things influence it. You understand what he means when he says docile basketball American cattle. Just the way that he would cut people down for running programs or running OSs, even if he said this is how a white man does it. There's a level of him just saying this is how a real programmer does it, but the schizophrenia kind of fucks with that. The internet kind of fucks with that.
Yeah.
And his mild Tourette's kind of thing fucks with it too. And just the fact of, even as crazy as he got, as far off as he got, he was cognizant to the end. Like, you would hear stories of people who met him in real life, and like, he talks like a normal dude. He's 100% like regular.
Well, I mean, I get the feeling, right? Because I think that might be Jim's most famous, at least that I know of, most famous internet and insanity video. And you get the feeling that although Jim, laughed at, some of the stuff that he somewhat genuinely respected and genuinely felt bad for Terry as well. I mean,
Jim's got a heart. Jim really does.
Oh yeah, Jim can be a smart ass on the internet, but I also know that Jim can be very endearing too.
Oh,
and yeah. So
that's why I liked Internet Insanity. Druid Fockett was another one of those interesting cases of internet schizophrenia that you end up seeing.
Oh yeah. Ash, where do you want me to send you the invite link?
That's why you need a Twitter, man. Come on.
Yeah. I don't fuck you. You're gonna do Twitter by the end of the year. That's what listen. Apex used to say the same thing, and I bullied him into it, and now he can't get off Twitter. He posts cat memes.
He loves it.
He loves it.
Twitter can be good if you make it good, and if you establish, right, like it takes 1, it takes 2, it takes 3, it takes 8. You have to like control your cipher on Twitter. You can shape and alter what you see and enjoy. You can build your own world. You can birth it into that next level of what you want it to be.
Here's Ash. I can't say the word basketball American on Twitter though. That sucks. Well, Ash,
I can't say it on V on 4chan, man. Like, shit, you just gotta deal with it. We're in a different world.
Well, the thing it is then I asked, well, Ash, would you say if you could? No, but it's just having the option.
Here's the thing: you can. There'll just be repercussions. You have your 100% freedom to do so, but you better be able to deal with the consequence of that. You have free speech, but there will be a consequence to that speech. Can you handle the consequence? That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Again, I got banned from V for like a week because somebody kept making the same kind of fucking bait thread, And I said, rope yourself, basketball American. And yeah, they didn't like that too much.
Yeah, and you probably weren't even like thinking about it in that, in the context.
I said it how I meant it. Somebody was putting a bait thread that was pushing out other threads and ruining the overall quality of the board at the moment I was browsing it. They were in fact being what I called them. That is
Okay.
When I came up in 6 and 7 and 8 on 4chan, to me, that is what I understand that kind of person to be.
Yeah.
Somebody calls somebody that, that's what you are.
Yeah, exactly.
You're either that if you're something heinous, or if they're just being dumb, you tell them, OP, you're a bundle of sticks.
That's actually my favorite. The bundle of sticks one, that's my favorite.
That's a go-to. That's a nice one. Yeah.
I use that for everything. Dude, you're being a faggot, right?
Yeah. It's great. It rolls off the tongue. And you don't mean you're being a homosexual. That's not an insult. That's not telling the person what they're doing. They could be posting something dumb about wanting to fuck who the fuck ever, video game character, woman, or whatever. They can still be that. It has nothing to do with sexuality. It's the common usage. Just like fucking Black Hawk Down. It's about the common usage.
Yeah, it's just like Louis C.K. says. I don't call people a fag because they're being gay or anything, you understand, right? I call people faggot because they're being faggots.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Again, if you know, you know. You know.
Louis C.K. actually has a great bit about. The man who. Okay, well, shoot. I guess we will be going for another 2 hours.
If I manage to keep standing, shit.
Where's my guy? Oh, hey.
There you are.
Yo, I want you to know that I just left the Versus stream, and the last thing I said was, Sam is more base than you, Sean, and I left.
Excellent.
It's true. What can I do? I only speak the truth.
It is. Well, I mean, the guy is unsure if the American Revolution was justified or not.
Yeah, come on. Violence was not justified, okay, even back then.
For the revolution? What?
Bro, I'm telling you, this guy said, I don't know. I was like, okay, when is violence justified? He was like, I don't know. And I was like, what about the American Revolution? Was that justified? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, Ash and I were both in a Discord VC with someone who claims to be based, but yeah, he couldn't answer whether or not the American Revolution was justified.
I was like, dude, the only reason we're talking right now is because of the American Revolution. He's like, I don't know.
What the fuck?
Dude, thank you. What the fuck? It's like the easiest question to answer. American Revolution, justified or not? And he's like, I'm not sure.
That's hold on, let me just pull this back. You said American Revolution, not the Civil War. The American Revolution for our freedom.
Sorry, Sam, tell him I'm not lying. Come on.
No. Akaba, I wish Ash were lying.
Okay. So if you told a child, do you think that violence was justified against the British so that we could be a nation and not be controlled? That child would say, yeah, probably. Probably the child would say, yeah, it's probably a good thing we use violence, or they would have made us do the stuff we don't want to do. And that's not nice of them.
Because they're getting rid of they're getting rid of the Pledge of Allegiance at a lot of schools now.
I never liked the pledge. I'll be honest. I love my country. I love America, and God fucking bless it. But to me, the pledge was always that weird kind of.
Bro, back in the day, because I'm from England, right? So when I moved to America, then they did the Pledge of Allegiance. I kind of weirded out. But now that I'm an adult, I look back and I'm like, I should have fucking put my hand on my heart and said the Pledge of Allegiance a lot more often.
Really? Why?
Well, because fucking America is traditionally based, but
Wow.
But nowadays, it's like, I don't know, do I even want to say it? But like when I find out that people don't want to say it or they're getting rid of it, I'm like, no, say it, you faggot, say it.
Well, that was one of the things that, like, I remember. So obviously, again, just for lore's sake, I am a military child. So I was in public school in Southern California during my high school years, and in a gym class, I never stood or did anything for the Pledge of Allegiance. Now when our national anthem happened at the beginning of any movie or anything like that during events, ball games or whatever, I would stand and put my hand over my heart for that, but never for the pledge, right? And so the teacher was like, "How can you not say the pledge when?" And I always wore like camo in high school, so wearing that and your father being a Marine, and I'm like, I choose not to.
Well, dude, the amazing thing about America is the idea that like you don't have to say it.
That was the thing. It was like I was expressing my choice not to. I just chose not to. And it's not like I was doing it to make a statement or that. It was I chose not to. Now I chose not to out of laziness. But that was still my choice.
But that's the most American thing you can do is not do something because you're lazy.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly.
That's what makes us not an authoritarian country. But nowadays it's like, oh, you said the wrong pronoun. You fucking
It is madness. But, yeah, no, I've never been a big fan on the pledge, and I don't know. I think there are better ways you can invoke loyalty to America rather than
name one way. Go for it. Name one way.
Just teach the history of America compared to histories of other countries, and you're like, okay, this is a little bit better. It's got some rough spots, but there's a lot worse. Just show living conditions between here and other places,
I think 10 years ago, like when I went to London and we were eating at like some restaurant outside, where you order a lemonade and they bring you a Sprite because they don't know what the fuck's going on in the world. And then they're like, "Where are you guys from?" And you're like, "America, United States." And they're like, and the server's like, "I would love to go to the States." And it's like, yeah, I bet you would. But nowadays, I don't know if that's true.
I think it depends on who you ask and where. Some kind of see America as a cool place. Others, because of the news and things online, they see it as a hellscape of a place to live. Especially, apparently, if you're a minority of any kind.
Right.
But, that is, I understand why it happens. But like I said, it depends on the person and the mindset and how online they are, I think.
Bro, I played. I used to play MMOs because I'm a gamer, right? And I met a girl from New Zealand, right? And she's like, "Oh, you're from America? That's crazy. What? Like, aren't you guys like racist and like crazy about guns and shit?" I'm like, whatever. Like, no, And then like I got to know her. She's like,
but also yes, for guns.
She's like, you single-handedly made me think like Americans aren't that bad. I'm like, okay, great, crazy.
Because we're not. That's all it takes sometimes, really, is just kind of they need, like I said, they hear all this kind of shit online on how it is over here and shit, and then it's like, no, it's really not that bad. Like, do I carry a gun with me everywhere I go? Yes. Do I do that because where I live is particularly a little more hard knocks? Yes. Is that indicative of all of America? Fuck no. I just happen to live in a semi not safe kind of region. But I also do it just because it's responsible.
Oh, yeah. Fellow in the Meadow has a question, and I think I know what it is. Ash, do you believe in the 19th Amendment?
I'm gonna have to admit that I'm a fucking retard and I don't know what the 19th Amendment is. Go on.
Oh
Giving
boy.
giving women the right to vote. Basically.
No, I'm actually completely against that amendment.
So is Phil in the Meadow, and she's a woman. So
Yeah, based. Okay, you know who else is against it? Who is a woman? Blonde in the belly of the beast.
oh yeah, because you're also a YouTube.
I'm a YouTube. I'm a YouTube guy.
So she's Fellow's also shame that you didn't know what the 19th even was.
No, okay. I knew that's what that was, but when you asked me, I was like, which number? But no, I understand what you're saying. And you know what? To be fair, like not all guys should also have the right to vote.
Well,
I'm against all people voting. How about that?
That's a safe take. That's probably the safe take.
That's a very safe take, Ash. So,
Well, okay, look. How about this, right? Women can vote all they want, but like, why the fuck do we have them in high positions of power?
Oh boy.
No, go on, Akiba. You laugh, but what? To explain to me, convince me that we should.
If somebody's capable of doing something, the gender shouldn't matter.
Oh, you mean capable of like fucking like insider trading?
Everyone's capable of it. Nobody who should. Well, obviously everyone can. So,
okay, hold on, Akiba. Here's a question for you. Do you think life would be better if we didn't have the 19th Amendment?
Better? I can't say it would be. I can't be led to believe that it would be.
Why not?
Because it's not really made the impact of the dystopian we're at. The ones, even if they have positions of high power, the ones still at the top are fucking men, right? Still us. We are the biggest threat to ourselves.
My question is, would it be better or not if we didn't have the 19th Amendment?
At this point, I don't think it would matter much, honestly.
That's not the question.
I can't say if it'd be better or not. I'd say I don't know.
What do you think, dude? Come on, it's okay to have an opinion. No one's going to judge you.
That is the opinion. I can't say for sure.
Oh my god,
Could it be worse? Fuck, I guess.
Hold on, I just checked YouTube. There's 3 people watching, and one of them is me. So there's no one judging you here. You can answer me directly, okay? Do you think America would be better off or worse off? No in between, and no I don't knows. If
I don't have statistics to fucking say that. Certain sectors, maybe, yeah. Others, I don't know. I've not thought about it long enough to be able to give you an informed answer.
Okay, why don't you explain the ones that you do know would be better if we didn't have it? He's scared. Sammy's scared.
Dude, I'm fucking stoned is what I am.
Fuck like, God damn it!
Why are you making me think? I'm not supposed to think on this show. I'm supposed to read the fucking news and talk about video games.
Yeah, didn't the other day you were like, yeah, guys, that's all well and good. We've been here for 2 hours, but I've got these things to get through.
No, that was just for the joke of selling it of you at Apex burning and shit in front of a trash fire and kicking.
Well, Ash, I was trying to get you to keck live on air because you have the best laugh ever. But you see, thank you. But you had bronchitis last week, and so you were literally hacking up your lung.
No, I'm feeling a bit better. I'm only been coughing
good.
like every 5 hours now.
Yay, progress!
Yeah.
That is progress.
Fuck
Also-
going to the doctor.
Also, Bell wants to know your thoughts on cannibalism and whether or not it's.
Oh, dude, this is a great question. My thoughts on cannibalism. Okay. Cannibalism is based, okay? Because if you're fucking like cucked enough to get eaten, then you probably deserve it.
Okay.
Okay, that's actually,
Done.
that's actually kind of like I don't
Based?
necessarily know if I agree with that, but I can see the logic.
Okay, think about this, right? Like cannibalism, like if you choose to just do it randomly, you probably fucked up in the head and you should probably be executed. But if someone decides like cannibalism's on the table and like you're on a desert island or something and everyone is just like cannibalism, and you're like, no cannibalism, everyone else is like, no cannibalism totally, and you're like, no please no. Like if you cannibalize them first, that's base because you fucking like you didn't like succumb, like I don't know. Like if you're gonna get cannibalized either way, like you might as well eat everyone else first. I don't know.
And Genius Anus decides to pop in the chat right as you're talking about cannibalism.
Oh, this guy! Oh my god!
Great going. Genius Anus, at the beginning of the show, I was informing Akaba about the whole thing with the Trump raid and whatnot. So
That have to do with
yeah.
cannibalism.
Yeah, I don't see the segue from that one, but
I mean, I think the deep state might want to eat Trump for all I know.
Well, I mean,
So.
if Trump's gonna cannibalize the party, I'm all for it.
He should. He fucking better. Oh, I'm not sure. We're still not sure if Trump should be the guy. The Lincoln Project herder. It's like, who the fuck pays attention to the Lincoln Project?
Is the Lincoln Project like unironically gay?
It's filled with a bunch of faggots. So
well, there we go.
So when I hear Lincoln Project, I think, okay, Lincoln lived in a log cabin. Okay, log cabin Republicans. Okay, gay.
yeah, but see the log cabin Republicans, like the actual gay Republicans, are actually pretty based because when everyone was like, nah, this was back in 2016, when everyone was like, nah, Trump's too flamboyant and Trump's too, he parties too much. He's not what the Christian conservatives like. All the log cabin Republicans are like, Trump knows how to party. He knows his shit. He's straightforward. We're voting for him. So fuck you.
What about Scott Presler? What do you think about him?
I've actually talked to him
Really?
before. Yeah, not like for a long time, but he's. I don't really have an opinion on him other than like he's a nice guy. So
we need to have Scott Presler on this show.
Yeah, I probably actually do. So, at one point, Akba and I need to have Jim himself on.
Yes. Oh my god, I would love to talk to Jim.
We need to get Vicious Vickers on for that too. So
that would be an interesting thing to pull off.
Yes.
Well, don't have me around for Vickers, because if he's on and I'm on, I feel like at some point I'm going to be like, shut the fuck up! Shut up!
Oh yeah, you're the one who thought that Vickers was boring. So.
No, he wasn't boring. He was just like, he wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Nah, well,
Sorry.
I basically let him speak the entire, so that was my fault. Like
No, he was like doing this thing where he was like, "Yeah, I did this and this and this, and isn't that right, honey? Isn't that right, honey? Yeah, that's right. We did that thing." And I was like, "Okay, oh my god."
your impressions, I love it. So you actually do a pretty good impression of me sometimes.
Don't tempt me, man, because I will.
Yeah, well now that I mention it, you might not, or you might. I don't know.
Yo,
But
who's the guy who does your intro? Because it's like you're listening to the Sam Whitfield Report. Who's that guy?
a guy I hired on Fiverr, Scott.
Dude, it was a good $5. You only paid him $5. He did that.
No, I paid him like $20, but
Okay, best
still,
$20 you ever spent.
Yeah. So, but anyway, what's going on with you, Mr. Kexter?
Oh, I was just on Sean's podcast, and it has less viewers than your podcast. I think I was the only one viewer, and that was just because I had a tab open with his fucking stream.
Yeah, I know. That's because Sean is horrible with Halo Infinite.
Yeah, dude, we were playing Halo Infinite, okay, and Sean somehow beat me, and I was worse than Sean, so I don't feel very good right now.
Yeah.
Listen,
Stay
back when
away
they
from
used
ropes.
Yeah.
Well, they introduced a new mode in the Halo game, right? And the new mode is like land grab or whatever, and I just wasn't used to it.
You mean King of the Hill?
No, dude, it's not even King of the Hill. It's called land grab. So like the zones aren't in the same place as King of the Hill.
Territory?
No. Yes. Okay, you're right, but it's in random locations rather than the set locations. So it's like, are you at the zone? Are you there? If not, you're fucked. It's like, okay. Oh, did you get to the zone but you died? Okay, you're fucked. So I was playing that for a while. Then we played Tactical, which is like SWAT, which is my favorite.
Yeah.
But like I was not performing because I haven't played Halo in like 4 months or something. And suddenly I'm on their stream and they're like, "We're playing Halo." I'm like, okay.
See, back when they used to have a webcam, back when they used to have an actual studio, and Sean used to put his face on webcam.
Oh yeah, studio.
Yeah, back when they used to actually host the show from Penn State, it was actually good.
I like how Sam is in a different room today, and there's like a fucking okay, he's almost got like the bookshelf to show that he's smart, but then next to the bookshelf is just a bunch of clothes and a laundry basket.
No, I'm in the same room.
It's the same room.
No, it's not.
Yes, yes, it is.
No, I've never seen this room before. I see the door. The door is the same, but this backdrop of clothes is not the same.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Usually,
I bully you into moving the camera.
All of the shirts on the hangers are your height, so you can grab them.
God,
yeah.
Jesus.
Did you not notice that, Akiva? Like
no, I didn't think about it.
Like this.
I didn't think about it. I didn't need to.
Well, now you can't unsee it. You can't unsee that shit.
Yes, okay.
That's on purpose. That is a versatile wardrobe right there. He's not getting to that second to last shelf or the top shelf. There's no way. Whatever's up there, he does not need.
Oh my god.
Yes, I'm crippled, Ash. It helps to have things where I can reach them.
I guess we almost made it through the whole show without bringing up the fact that Sammy's crippled, but it was bound to happen eventually somehow.
How dare you? How dare you? Okay.
We're sitting here
Uh,
having a nice
I'm
conversation.
glad I showed up because you're telling me you're about to go through a whole show without mentioning it. Come on, I'm here to stop that. I gotta fucking someone tweeted something.
um,
Wait, someone Ash hates handicap accessible closets. I mean, I don't hate them. I'm noticing. I'm noticing them, and I'm gonna call it out when I see it. Okay.
yeah. Oh God, Genius, not you too. Sam only drinks beer because uh, that's that's all they store at ground.
Dude, I love this chat. There's like a fucking like leaning back wheelchair guy. Then there's like a leaning forward wheelchair guy. Then there's suddenly a guy like playing golf.
Yeah, that's
The evolution of Sam. Like at first he was like lethargic and like obese. Then he like started trying to stand up, and now he's fucking like getting a hole in one over here.
yeah. No, I've never been obese. I think that's
Can you even be obese? Are you capable of that?
I'm. I don't think so. I don't know though. That's like. But
He says no. That's me hitting Sammy out of his wheelchair.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes, no. That is what that is.
Okay, you got to put the wheelchair guy and then the golf guy behind him. You can't do like two separate chats, bro.
So.
Good Lord, we've gone off the rails already.
Sorry. Carry on. I will be quiet.
I don't know what we're carrying on to. We're off the rails. I don't know where we're going.
Wait, don't you have a list of things you want to talk about?
Well, no.
Already cleared it.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Good job.
The thing of it is, we actually managed to clear the entire show within like 2 hours.
This is your section of the show, buddy.
Oh shit. Okay. What did I-
And you chose the cripple closet.
Okay. Here's my question. Okay. Here's my question for Akiba. Okay, ready?
dear.
Ready? Here's my
Oh,
question.
boy.
Everyone, fucking brace yourselves. Okay, clench your sphincters. Here we go. Akiba,
Yeah.
what do you think of the American Revolution? Was it justified?
100%. In fact, I'd say we didn't do enough.
Based. Okay. What do you think it would take for a second American Revolution?
That's really hard to say because well, here's my reasoning is that we've seen to the extent of which the American population will take shit. And the tolerance nowadays is leagues higher than it used to be. I think in terms of a proper revolution, it would have to be complete breakdown of government, complete breakdown of systems. I mean, faith in the government is already as low as it is, and things are still how they are.
So are you are you saying shut up and just watch another Marvel movie?
No. I would say start pulling your money out of the banks, buying weapons and ammunition. It never hurts to just be prepared.
But I heard that violence is not justified. I heard that one. I heard that from somewhere. I can't really recall where, but I heard that from someone recently.
Well, the Akiba method that I like to follow is a philosophy to keep in mind. And that is that human beings, Homo sapiens, are no different than the things that they lock in cages, parade around, and consume. Whatever an animal is capable of, we are just as capable of. And know that we can go from a completely civilized society to a completely destructive society in a blink of an eye, because there are already societies within our society that are almost as bad as third world countries at war, things of that nature. It can all collapse and fall apart at any moment. So, never hurts to be prepared for everything. Don't expect, what's the word? Don't expect violence. Simply be prepared for it.
Okay. Second question. Balls or no balls?
That's from
for dogs.
That's from
I'm not for dogs. No,
Dogs should have their balls. Men should have
okay,
penis.
someone in chat is asking, and it's a good question.
it's
Balls or no balls on your Futanari?
smart asses.
Oh, on my Fuda? Oh, full package, 100.
Wait. So you're saying balls?
Full package. That's what I said. When it comes to Fuda, full package.
Can you explain your reasoning?
No. Does it need explaining?
Answer the
No.
question. What the fuck do you want?
No, it doesn't need explaining.
Okay.
Full package.
You want the full balls and penis. Okay. Gotcha. Sam?
I mean, if those are the choices.
Sam, you want to chime in here?
I think food should be banned, and I think it should be napalmed.
I'm like, balls or no balls? And Sam's like, napalm.
That's a fair response, too. To each of their own.
There you go. I'm
Um,
the team no balls, and it's because I don't want my girls having balls. Because it's
Just
it's
so the dick is
exclusive
fine,
on
but the
a
balls
girl.
are the point where it's too
Right.
much.
Like Futanari has to be on a girl, so it's like if I have to choose, how much of a man do I want him to be? Less of a man? So like no balls. But everyone is against me, and they're like, "Oh, I need balls because otherwise it's weird." I'm like, okay.
because otherwise it's weird. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I heard. Okay.
That just reminds me of that one Whitest Kids You Know sketch where it's the popcorn factory sketch.
Yeah, he's like I'm
Guys,
touching your
wouldn't
boobs,
imagine
I'm touching her vagina, and I'm coddling her balls. Gay.
gay.
Yeah. Let me know when this gets gay. Okay. I'll make it out with this chick, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm touching her boobs, right?
Okay.
Okay. I'm playing with her sweet vagina. Okay.
Very straight.
I'm fondling her ball. Gay.
Okay.
It's like, you guys don't understand. You're fired.
Get.
Ash, here's a question for you.
R.I.P.
I'm
Trevor
glad
Moore,
that
by
you-
the way.
Glad that you
We're-
know why this kid you know. That would
R.I.P. Trevor Moore. It's been about a year
Yeah,
since his
dude, like-
passing.
Dude, I heard so many things about that. Like, I heard he was pushed off of a balcony.
No, he was drunk. The security camera footage.
There's security camera. Can I watch that shit?
No, fuck no. I wish.
Oh, and how do you even know then? You just
That's
heard,
how it was reported.
You just
Yeah,
heard it?
based on the investigation.
Okay, this is the problem with people like Akiba. They're just like, oh, I heard about this footage.
Okay, if he was pushed or not, it does. I'm not gonna hunt the dude down. We've lost Trevor Moore. We're already down the chips, man.
Yeah,
Like,
you lost Trevor Moore. We're already fucking defeated.
it doesn't matter how we got here. We're Trevor Mooreless.
Stop focusing on it. We got to recuperate.
Man, that show was so integral to me.
Dude,
growing
so
up
good.
in my
Dude, you
humor.
know what's really fucking wild is like they lately, like during the pandemic, started doing like live streams, right?
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even watch them. Fuck that, because it's not a skit. But then suddenly he dies.
Mhm.
Crazy.
Well, he was doing the Trevor Moore show with Sam and some other chick for Comedy Central, and it was great. It wasn't super fantastic.
Was he like how soon before he died though?
They were in between seasons.
Yeah,
I
okay,
wanna
so
say.
not that recent to it. I don't know. I heard something and it's sticking with me. I heard that he had said something based as fuck, and then he
Probably.
died. I'm like, oh.
That would be how he goes out. I like
He was like talking about something about like a Jewish conspiracy, and it's like, oh, he's fucking dead. I heard he was pushed off a balcony. I heard also that he got into a car accident. And it's just like I don't even know what to believe anymore.
Oh,
I go with what's simple sometimes.
speaking of car accidents, I guess Anne Hesh or whatever that lesbian's name is, she died or
Okay, so I heard about this.
Something.
Yeah, I heard about this yesterday from my neighbor. She's 63, 64, my mom's age. Okay, she's like my second mother, and she's literally right next door. Like if I yelled loud enough, she'd be like texting me, like, "What's going on over there?" Right? So she told me Anne Hesh fucking like died, and I'm like, who's that? And she's like, really? You know, she's like me. If you don't know my animes, she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is. And she's like, well, she was apparently driving and she ran through an entire house and like almost killed a family while they were eating or something. She ended up on the other side of the house and she's in a coma and they're trying to decide whether they can donate her organs or not. They're keeping her alive just to see which organs are like harvestable. And I'm sitting here like, Jesus Christ, okay. And then I saw on Patriots today, oh yeah, Ann Hirsch had a fucking like automotive vehicle, like one that was what do you call it, dude? Like a fucking vehicle that's like automotive.
What?
Give me a word, somebody.
Automotive?
Yeah. Automated? Able to be automated? Automated, able? Yeah.
Autopilot.
Yeah, Autumn Hail Hitler. Yeah, and so apparently the conspiracy now is that like she had an automatable vehicle, Hitlerish, right? And someone hacked into her car and made her do that, right? Because she was going to make a movie that's apparently still going to be released that's about child sex trafficking. And I'm like, okay, I believe it. I'm on board.
Well, yeah, the Vault 7 or Vault 13 leaks confirmed that they can access the computers with the cars.
Okay.
And disable shit. Oh, yeah, no, that's already known about.
Okay,
if you know, you know. Yeah.
So the original story I heard from my neighbor was like, yeah, she was like on fentanyl and she fucking crazy and just kept driving and killed a bunch of people. And I'm like, oh God. And now I'm hearing, no, they hacked her car and made her do that because of her child trafficking movie. And I'm like, that sounds more believable.
I mean, God, look how many bodies dropped during Clinton. And I mean Clinton the second time.
Yep. That's true.
Mm-hmm. It's not there. It's come on. We've been assassinating people talking about shit they're not supposed to talk about for forever, man. There's a reason that there's that joke in that 70s show about, yeah, man, this dude made a car, man, that like runs on water, man, and the government took him out, man. There's a reason that joke kept getting repeated because they were trying to label like, no, guys, he's not just a stoner. Come on.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about those water cars.
I'm sure there is something that for the average consumer can substitute crude oil. Transportation like semis and shit like that, that's a little bit different, but I am pretty sure on a small scale we have figured out some sort of fucking combustible fuel source.
Gina says Akuma has evidence that will lead to the smart ass, don't do that. I would no, you want to know who has evidence against Hillary that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton is Gina Sanis. He's the Gonzo journalist.
I'm just the dude that talks about Elden Ring.
Yeah. Gina Sanis is the real Gonzo journalist. He's the one who has info that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton.
I love that meme, but when it's paired with the picture of the mystery machine from Scooby-Doo on fire, that one's great.
Oh my God, that's even better. So
I am not depressed. I don't care if that sounds like a lie. I am not depressed. I have no ideas to kill myself or anything of the like. I am John McAfee levels of I am in good mental health.
So you're cruising across the ocean with hookers.
No, I'm programming train schedules while on LSD and DMT.
Did you watch that interview with John McAfee and Gavin McInnes before he died?
I did not.
Oh my God, you gotta find it. Gavin McInnes interviewed John McAfee like I think a month before he died. And John McAfee basically revealed that like he had made some sort of hand sanitizer that like cured everything, and fucking Gavin McInnes is just like, okay, well, like he's like, yeah, my compound got like burned to the ground, and like I got kicked out of the country, and Gavin McInnes is just like, he doesn't give a fuck, so he's like, well, can't you just like start making a hand sanitizer again? And John McAfee's like, you don't understand. There's one flower that grows on one riverbank in one latitude in South America. And now that I'm kicked out, I can't harvest it anymore. And that's the thing that makes the hand sanitizer. He's like, oh. And then John McAfee died. It's like, oh.
Maybe.
Maybe.
John McAfee, if you watch that interview, and I'm spoiling it, but he basically explains that, like, the bacteria that infect your body, they don't actually affect you. They wait and wait and wait and wait until they have enough of themselves, and then they suddenly turn on, and then that's what makes you sick. It's called like a biomass or something. And so his hand sanitizer he developed with this one flower that grows in this one latitude on this one riverbank. It was able to stop that from happening.
Interesting. Genius Aqua is not. You can. Genius says you can. You can hear. You can hear his. Stop confusing Akaba with Apex. You're confusing two. Apex Gamma is the one who self harms Genius, not Akaba.
In terms of Genius Anus's question of who's more evil, Umbrella Corporation or the Clinton Foundation, I mean, Umbrella has brought the world to destruction and close to destruction many times.
One is a fictional evil corporation. The other one is the Clinton Foundation.
I'm just gonna say, Umbrella never went after my Pepes. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, one is a global evil corporation. The other one is the Umbrella Corporation.
Yeah. One is a shadow organization that will do whatever it takes to take out of its enemies, control the populace for its own benefit, both monetarily and power and influence wise, and cares little for the actual value of human life. Those at top seeing themselves as deity rulers who know what is ultimately right for humanity. And then there's Umbrella Corp.
And then there's the podcaster known as Akiba.
Yeah, and then below that, there's me. Right below Umbrella Corp. There's me.
Well, I in all seriousness though, I love how after Hillary lost in 2016, the Clinton Foundation just disappeared. Can we talk about that for did it though?
Look, we've already had this fucking podcast be taken out by the government once tonight. Do you really want to risk it again?
Yes, we do. Come on.
Oh God.
I mean, Ash here said the government will just be like, oh, it's the Kexter.
Oh, it's the Kexter.
It's
this one.
It's the guy who will literally laugh.
Every 3 minutes they check in. I'll just have to go like ha 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 ha, and then they'll be like, okay, it's just cacking again. We'll check back in 3 minutes.
Here's the thing is, Ash could literally be like in a CIA black site getting tortured. And he would just be like laughing.
Burning my retinas with a blowtorch. I'd be like, that tickles. Ah!
Good Lord.
I'm not even kidding. This.
Oh, I know you're not. I know you're not.
This guy.
If they capture me and try to torture me, all I'm gonna think about is how Sam has a wardrobe that's like fucking knee high.
Jesus.
Laugh. They'll be like, "Where is he?" And I'll be like, "Sam can't reach his clothes."
Holy fuck.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you are. You definitely. You definitely are the son of Mr. Medicare. No one. I think you might actually heck more than he does. So.
Probably.
You don't have the smoker's laugh that he does, which we've got to work on.
I'm working on it. I'm working. I got a fucking cowboy killer in my mouth right now.
Well, good for you, champ.
Hey chat.
So, actually, I actually came up with a hilarious scenario, which is so. Actually, you know that Jim was going to be a teacher, right?
Yeah, I do remember that being part of his lore.
Yeah, he was a teacher actually. Well, I got the idea. So what if Mr. Medicare taught like high school English and he taught Shakespeare, right?
Mhm.
But instead of Shakespeare, like it was Shakespeare, but all the characters were actually like IBS characters.
Jaworski's
instead.
Romeo and
Oh dear.
Juliet.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so what about it?
Yeah.
And Medicare's just like narrating. He's like, "Wherefore art thou, Romeo?"
Okay, what about it?
No,
You say the what if. So what if
Yeah, come
about
on,
it?
Sam. What about it?
I just think it would be super. I just think it would be super hilarious to like have like I don't even know like what a good well like for Romeo and Juliet I could picture like I could picture like Aid and maybe Ralph in that circumstance.
Oh God, I hope.
Then,
Yeah, at least Ralph would die at the end, right?
that's a good point.
The Sam can fire talk.
Okay.
I don't think Sam has a point. I think Sam is just like, how do
Just sharing the idea.
How do we educate the next generation? Let's have the blood sports do the Romeo and Juliet.
I think you just need to show them blood sports and just have the right person tell them that this is what insane people do, and the shit'll sort itself out.
Yeah.
I'm also in that particular.
Write an essay about what you learned.
Yeah, right. Good. Yeah. I can't imagine putting that lore in front of them and saying write an essay about what you learned, because it's just you have to go through multiple viewings of that shit because it's so wild. You're just in bewilderment the first
blood sports participant actually died, like for real.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who?
I don't think Tonka's around anymore.
Was he
no,
dead,
Tonka's still alive.
Okay, he's alive. Who's dead? You both said yeah, so who's dead?
I'm just gonna guess at some point somebody has killed himself after Bloodsport. I'm just gonna guess statistically.
Someone has to be. Come on.
I mean, Bakes. Well, Bakes is in prison, but we all know.
Is he in prison?
Is he yet, or is that still getting sorted?
He's on his way to prison, I guess.
Dude, good job doing the fucking finger quotes. Good job, Sam.
What you're surprised at? I've been trying to answer Becky on.
I can't help myself. I'm dying. I'm the one who died from blood sports, apparently. I've
been trying to make you laugh all night long. And
he failed because I made myself laugh.
And me doing finger quotes is what.
I love that you did it with one hand and not two hands. Sam, 2 hands, come on. I'm gonna die. My fucking face hurts.
Hey, Ash, you know what else I can do with 2 fingers? Well, no, actually, I only need one. I only need one.
You backed out.
I only need one.
Oh shit!
But yeah.
Rock paper scissors. Fuck you.
God damn it!
Yeah,
Somebody say what Ada said on for the fucking podcast.
He was lost his mind.
Nah.
It says even your fingers are crippled because the podcast couldn't see the middle finger that Sammy gave Ash. Oh fuck!
Someone said, "Gross, Sammy."
Oh my god!
Why don't we have more viewers? God damn it!
Well, I could have, but then I talked to Hillary Clinton being a cunt in 2016.
That explains it all.
Oh yeah, and it was just been the trickle down ever since.
And yes, I did literally use the C word. I literally did call her a cunt.
Cunt, faggot, nigger, bitch.
Fucking fuck.
Demonetized.
Let's be honest. This show is never going to be mine.
Next time I load up this podcast and there's no ad beforehand, I'll be like, I know why.
That was me. I did that.
Yeah, that was you. I did that. Hey guys, you want to see what I did? Look at this. See how it doesn't have any ads?
Shit.
I love how easy it is to make Akiba laugh. I have to show up every Saturday now.
You wait. You love how easy it is to make you love how easy it is to make Akiba laugh. You're the guy who I'll show up in who when I show up in Discord I'll say hi Ash and
I'll be like
yeah. You'll be like Sam said hi, Clown World, Clown
World, Hong Kong.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, Sam called me last night and I did not answer and I felt really bad. And he was just like, I just wanted to say thanks for chatting last night. I'm like, oh fuck, I should have fucking answered the call.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's what you get. But
bitch.
But it was okay just because I ended up running over hookers and oh wait, they don't have hookers in GTA 5 anymore.
Do they not?
Akiba, what is your avatar anyway?
It is Akiba.
Oh, okay. That means nothing to me.
That is Akiba, aka Johnny Sasaki from Metal Gear Solid 4.
It looks like nothing. It doesn't make sense. I'm staring at it.
I mean, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
I'm like, is it like a half a motorcycle? Like, what is it?
It is a gentleman with a balaclava and sunglasses aiming an XM8 assault rifle.
No one would ever tell that at all.
That's okay.
You gotta work on your avatar, bro.
He's never played Metal. Ash, are you telling me you've never played Metal Gear Solid?
No, sorry.
Missing out.
Well then
I wasn't neglected by my parents like Akiba.
Only by one of them.
I see him stand.
Well Well, then that's why he has no idea of what Metal Gear Solid is. Although to be
You know what's fun about this podcast is my fucking like OBS symbol is kind of badass. Like the default symbol, it's better than Akiba's avatar. It's better than Sam's face, and then I got Sam Whitfield right underneath my avatar, so I can pretend I'm Sam Whitfield, and I can be like, "Hey guys."
oh jeez. Well, no, you can't. You might have a. You might be able to mimic my voice, but there's one thing you can't mimic.
What's that?
My dick in your mom's pussy.
Oh, shit. You know, I visited my mom tonight. Okay, she's a very nice lady.
Yeah,
Is that
well,
before or after Sam's cream pie?
Oh my gosh.
Did that just make her glow after or no?
I mean, she probably got drunk enough. It would have been easy.
well, I mean, she is British, so
She is British. True. Oh dear, I fear a crippled penis has entered my vagina.
Ash, as I have told my last couple girlfriends, baby, that's the only part of me that isn't crippled.
Baby, what I'm lacking in other areas, I make up for downstairs. Is that what you tell them, Sam?
Oh my fucking god.
Pretty much.
And meanwhile, I'm over here like, baby, I can walk, but don't expect much.
Where have we gone with this podcast? Where have we gone? I don't know.
I have no idea. All we need to do is invite Genius in here, and it'll be a mess. And it'll be a mess.
The
So
whole thing will get lit on fucking fire in an instant. Well, more of a fire. Let's be real. More of a fire. Except this fire won't primarily focus on Sammy's closet.
Bro, the chat is just like making fun of your fingers, even though you have not even showed your fingers for like 15 minutes. That's like an old joke, and the chat is just jumping on it now.
well, I mean, listen, I have long fingers. I have like a bass player.
Bro, you
player's
can play
fingers.
the piano, Sam, with those fingers. Like, you just gotta practice.
I mean, I could, but piano is gay.
You could, but you have too many clothes to put away.
I let my guard down and I let my mind just wander a little bit. It comes back to the fucking closet. I was like, oh, fingers, we're on to the other subject. Oh, no, there's
No, back to the fucking background here.
fucking Christ.
Ash, are you autistic?
Not even in the slightest, no.
Because you're acting like an autist right now. Just how how fascinated you are by my closet.
I just had it in reserve. I had it like in my mind. I had it.
Good Lord.
For Ash, for all I know, you might want to go into my closet.
Oh yeah.
So,
Maybe one day, Sam.
and fellow said,
If you get 100 likes on this video, I'll go into Sam's closet.
You heard it here first, folks.
I bet you would.
I'll be like, no, I'm not coming out.
Mom,
Oh.
Ash won't come.
Yeah.
Ash won't come out of the closet.
And then R. Kelly shows up.
Yeah. It's like a
Boy, you need to come out this closet.
Yeah.
I'm a shoe his mom.
Yeah. Tom Cruise won't come out of the closet.
That was a good episode.
That's so good. I have not seen the new ones on Paramount Plus. Are you gay enough to watch those, Akiba?
I have watched some of the COVID specials, but I've
Oh,
not watched any of the
I've
new
seen the
seasons
pandemic
since.
ones, yeah, but like, have you seen the actual like Paramount ones?
I think the last one I saw was probably the trolling that it all ended for a big troll of that whatever season that was. I think it was the election or like post election or something, but I
Yeah.
fell off a while
Yeah,
back.
like one of them was the latest like pandemic one I saw was like everyone's like lining up at Walgreens and like it's like an exclusive club and only the old people can get in and they're all
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I saw the future one.
yeah, they
That was
all
most
think they're
recent.
super cool. They're like, oh yeah, let us in. You know, they're skipping the
Okay,
line and shit, and they think they're so
I gotta
cool.
check that out.
It's so good.
Mhm. But anyway, well,
We calling it?
gentlemen, any further topics?
Yes, I have a further topic. What are the chances? What are the chances that Donald Trump is playing 4D chess and had the FBI raid his house on purpose?
Oh, I'm glad that you. I don't think. Do you really think that that's true? I thought that you were fucking with me the other night.
Okay, my question to everyone watching and all of you guys is why do you believe the mainstream media about anything?
I
And
don't.
what is the mainstream media saying? What are they saying? They're saying the FBI.
Orange Man bad.
Well, yeah, first of all that, but they're also saying the FBI didn't quote raid right Mar-a-Lago, right? So, like, why are you suddenly believing that mainstream media after all these years? Like, why would you ever believe anything they say? Why would you not take everything they say as completely false? When they say, "Oh, the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago," or "quote unquote" didn't, because that's not what a raid means anymore. Mar-a-Lago. Why aren't you going? Why aren't you going?
I listen, Ash.
Why aren't you going pure Yoda mode and going?
Because I have work in the
Why
morning,
aren't you
and this
going? Why aren't you
Danganronpa
going?
isn't
Hold
going to
on,
play
hold on.
itself.
Why aren't you going pure Chewbacca mode and going?
Good lord, the show has turned autistic.
You're the fucking Wrangler here, Sam. You've got the Tard Wrangler helmet. You are the one who dictates where we go. You're the one who
Yeah.
said fuck the train rails.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, keep
Yeah,
I did my part. What the fuck are you doing?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, there's Tard wrangling, and then there's Ash wrangling. Um,
No, but seriously, like, what are the chances? Like, because think about it, right? Think about what the outcomes are of the Mar-a-Lago raid. What are the outcomes?
well,
The outcomes
what?
are that
Well,
everyone thinks the
hold,
FBI is gay.
hold up.
Everyone thinks that Trump did nothing wrong. Everyone thinks I'm not voting for DeSantis anymore. I'm going full Trump mode. And what do you think the chances are that he was like, get the FBI over here, okay? Have them come over, and then DeSantis won't stand a chance, okay?
First off, that is actually wow. That is actually an okay Trump. Second,
Thank you. I practice every day. Thank you.
I'm curious. Like,
They're trying to destroy our country. They're trying to destroy our country.
okay, I'm curious. Ash slash
My favorite podcast is the Sam Whitfield Report. Okay, the Sam Whitfield Report. He's not fake news. He's not fake news. Okay, folks.
Well, Ash slash Mr. President, I'm curious as to how like how do we get from fake news to Trump wants the FBI to raid Mar-a-Lago. That's what I don't get. Like, obviously the news media is bullshit, but like, why would Trump?
Do you not think right now that Trump is like, guys, hey guys, or whoever he's got around him, he's just like, hey guys, isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? Like FBI raids me and I get all this publicity. Not like yeah, right, like yeah, right.
Yeah, but
They just so happen to raid him on this day, and then he gets all this publicity. He's probably sitting there like, guys, totally worked, right? Totally worked. They raided him. They think they raided me. Okay. And
my whole theory, Ash, is that our government is actually run by a bunch of stupid people. So I mean, for God's sakes, we have a man with dementia in the Oval Office.
well, that's how they control you, Sam. They make you believe that the person in control has dementia. That's a good way to control the populace, don't you think? If I was in control,
guys,
if
I'm
I
just
was in
saying
control,
Congress exists.
dude, if I was in control and I could just make things the way I wanted, I'd be like, man, look at these faggots. They think a dementia man is in control. It's crazy.
Well, no. That's the thing. I don't think he's in control of anything at all. But I also think that the people in the government are so stupid that even though they hate Trump, they would raid him and expect him to, cry like a bitch, and then it backfires on them.
Well, have you heard of white hats, Sam?
Yes, to some extent.
So the belief is that there are white hats. This is kind of like a Q conspiracy, so like take it with a grain of salt. But
Oh
there's the
God.
belief that there are white hats out there in the government that like are trying to save the country. It's kind of like an anime, Akiba.
I hate
where-
anime.
Yeah, Akiba, you watched Full Metal Alchemist, right?
The original half of season 1 and then the movie. Never
Oh my
watched.
God.
Never
Okay,
got the
well,
Brotherhood.
You understand the fact that like the characters in the fucking like military, they're trying to like save the country, right?
Yes.
That's like the fucking belief of like the white hats. Is like there are people trying to save the country and they work within the bounds of the government or they're still like hired or whatever.
That's
And
just good people doing good things.
sure, exactly. But they're in the position, so they're counteracting the evil that's going on. And the Trump's like, have the FBI raid me tonight, and they're like, okay, and then they do it, and everyone's like, oh my God, FBI raided Trump, my God, and he's just like, yes.
Oh, I mean, shit, man. At this point in time, anything is possible.
Yes, absolutely.
I
I'm
mean,
not
is
even
there
pretend what I'm
benefit?
saying is the truth. I just.
Is there benefit for him to do it as we start to ramp into the next
Yes.
election cycle?
Dude,
Absolutely.
apparently, because everyone is turning from DeSantis to Trump suddenly.
I mean, Biden's got the lowest approval rating. Could it be a 4D chess move? 100%. It depends on what they're going to, and because I'm not saying I can't do it on video, quote, find, end quote, that'll determine whether or not this was self-inflicted.
I mean, Ash, it very well could be a 4D chess move. Do I think it is? Probably not.
Do I hope it is? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Do I hope it is? Yeah.
I want $2 gas.
Can we all agree that nothing bad is going to happen to Trump because of it?
I'd be surprised if it was. I'd be surprised if it was.
Well, Sam seems to disagree.
Well, I mean, I certainly hope nothing bad happens
It's not
to him. I do think that this does help him in the sense that they don't have the excuse to assassinate him anymore because people like too aware, hopefully. So,
yo, what was my tell Akiba what my prediction was last night.
oh, you mean the night before?
Yeah, sorry, whatever night it was.
Oh yeah, Trump DeSantis 24, and then Kayla McEnany runs for governor of Florida.
Yes, Akiba, what do you think?
Sounds good.
Okay, based. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea. I don't know. I just don't know if it's plausible since DeSantis and
Trump, DeSantis, 2024, Kaylee McEnany, governor of Florida. But I also told Sam I think Donald Trump is going to get assassinated before November.
I hope not. That would
I hope not.
Well, we all hope not. But second prediction, November comes around. Donald Trump says he's going to run for president right after the November elections. And then he chooses Ron DeSantis, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, no! We need him in Florida." Oh my God. Sam's like, "No, no, 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 no! We need him in Florida." And then Kayleigh McEnany is like, "I'm running for governor."
At this point, I'm gonna say I anything can happen.
Yeah.
I couldn't have seen how we got to this point where we are now. I don't know, man. I just want $2 gas again. I just want $2. I don't give a fuck who does it. I just want $2 gas again, man. I'm a simple person. I just want to be taxed less and cheap gas.
Come on. Yeah.
Less taxes.
I just want to drive. I just want to move around. I want to go like 60 miles an hour at some point. Yeah. But bro, like didn't Andrew Cuomo, he resigned, right? And then you just get a random governor of New York without any election, right? So there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way where like Donald Trump says, "DeSantis, I'm tapping you," and they're like, "No, you can't do that." And then Donald Trump's like, "Joke's on you. I live in New Jersey, so it's completely legal." And then he's like tapping DeSantis, and then everyone's like, "What's going to happen though? Who's going to be governor of Florida?" And then Kayleigh McEnany's like, "It's okay. You don't need an election. Remember New York? I'm governor now."
Yeah, but I don't think Kayleigh McEnany is working for DeSantis in any capacity right now. Is she?
She doesn't have to. She just has to be like, "I'll do it."
I also, Ash, I think you have the hots for Kayleigh McEnany, but that's another.
I mean, okay, I'm trying to think of someone else you would want to be governor of Florida if DeSantis was VP. Pick someone better than Kayleigh McEnany. I'm listening. Go on. I'm waiting.
I would say Steve Bannon. I would say Steve Bannon, but he's...
Yeah, right. Where does Steve Bannon live?
Steve Bannon lives in D.C., but...
Kayleigh McEnany lives in Tampa, Florida.
That she does. No, honestly, Ash, I would tap you for. Actually, no, I would tap myself for governor of Florida.
There you go, Sam Whitfield for governor. Come on, we got 6 votes in the chat. Come on, we got 6 votes. Come on.
Yep.
We're gonna do it. Please clap.
Please. Buy my guac bowls.
I make a mean guac. Buy my bowls. Give the vote to Sam.
But well,
Sam
hey,
Whitfield, 2024. Please clap.
Well, hey, if I
please walk.
God damn. Fucking Christ.
Please stand. That would be even better. Listen, if
Sam Whitfield 2024. You can stand for change, but I'll sit through it.
Yeah. Will the real governor of Florida please stand up?
Well, listen, if I ever do make it to the White House, Genius Anus, smartass, is going to be my press secretary.
No. It's Sam Whitfield 2024. Change you can stand for, but not him.
But not him, yeah.
That
Sam Whitfield.
Or change you can stand for because he can't.
Yeah, Sam Whitfield. Wheel in the future.
The future.
That's not bad.
That's not the worst. That's not
I
the
love
worst.
the idea of like, because didn't Greg Abbott became governor of Texas? He's in a fucking wheelchair.
Yes,
Not enough.
Yeah. We just gotta milk it for all it's worth. Like Sam Whitfield can't walk, will run.
Sam Whitfield, 2024, crippled.
Yeah. Sam
Just
Whitfield.
that.
Yeah, Sam Whitfield, 2024, paralyzed, waist down.
The Obama posters, but it's just got crippled under it.
oh my God! Genius might have just won it. Sam Whitfield, you can't stand him. He can't stand.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you can't stand him. He can't stand you. No,
Oh,
seriously, he
man.
can't stand in front of you.
How did we get here?
We got here because I decided to invite Ash into the chat, and yeah, no.
I bugged Sam. I was like, "Get me on your podcast, bitch."
Well, yeah, pretty much.
I was like, "Where's my bitch?"
It was more like, hey, bro, I want on.
Yeah. Come on, man. I was on last week. Come on.
So,
And here we are, outside of a rundown Denny's,
Yeah.
4 hours from Fort
Here we
Worth,
are,
wondering where we went wrong.
Denny's.
Final question, Ash. When are you going to get on Twitter?
Yeah, when is that?
Never, not even.
Come on.
It's gonna happen by the end of the year.
I'll get on Twitter and I'll get banned within 2 hours.
That's okay. Then you just make another Twitter.
And I'll get banned within 2 hours of that.
Then you make another.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how hard it is to. It's not that hard to not get banned. You just have to put some flags in your name.
Yeah. Green flag.
Just throw up a word / another word and say it's a pronoun.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
He/her.
You know. Attack helicopter / naval warfighter. You know, like. Whatever you want. It's really a platform of self-expression. Be what you want to be, and people will have to take you serious.
Hashtag I sit with Whitfield.
Exactly. Exactly. Who's gonna hate you if you support someone who's crippled? Then they're being ableist.
Come on, everyone in chat. Hashtag I sit with Whitfield.
You know what? I actually like that. That's
great.
It's great. It's funny. It's funny, but what's even funny about that is like, is people would be like, is that offensive or is that actually?
Are you guys tired? Are you guys tired of the one-hand quote establishment?
Wait, no, the 2-hand quote, because Sammy does the 1-hand quote.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then we get Limp Bizkit to campaign you and have the campaign theme song be rolling.
Yeah,
that's
Limp Bizkit.
Well.
Fuck you, that has no right being that funny.
That's not what you meant, but I caught it. I caught it anyway.
Well, listen. At least
on a purely musical level, but I caught what he was saying, really, subconsciously.
Well, listen. At least that guy can limp. I can't even do that. So fuck him.
Where the fuck are we going with any of this?
I don't know. I keep trying to end the show, but
where is this farm we're going to?
Let me pull an Apex real quick. Sam, end the show, goddammit. Come on.
That's actually pretty good.
Well,
Sam, can you end this fucking show, goddammit?
Well, Ash, that wasn't suicidal enough sounding to be Apex.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
God damn it.
God, Sam, just end it all. End the fucking stream. Come on, Sam.
All right. And, yeah. fuck the deep state, fuck Hillary Clinton, fuck Bill Clinton, and this.
No, because he'll fuck you back. He'll fuck you back. Don't say that.
Oh well, yeah, well, shit, that's a good point. Fuck Monica Lewinsky then.
Okay, all right.
Hopefully she'll. You know,
Do you really want Bill sloppy second, Sam?
He doesn't mind.
I mean, it's like 20 years sloppy or whatever, but still, like, even with
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Because then by proxy, think about what you've been in,
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah. Think about that.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Then sorry, Monica.
I have a question for Akiba.
Oh shit.
When are we gonna do face cams, bro?
Never.
Oh. Cause I was gonna say, like, Sam does face cam. I'm willing to do face cam if you do face cam.
I might have something in the docket, but it's or something maybe planned, but it's not a face cam.
A B tube.
I'm just saying it's not a face cam. So why don't you fuck off with your little deduction skills, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, Mr. Chef? You can ask a question. You got your answer.
America.
It is. You asked the question. I gave you the answer.
All I can say is that Pipkin Pipka is his mom.
I want little flamenco avatars that are the gunt for each of us, different colors.
I'm not gonna go down the flamenco road.
You want about flamenco, but his little gunt avatar is fantastic.
It served its purpose well. I feel the bit kind of ran a little long, but the more he used it, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, something about this little guy. Did you guys ever watch Ghastly and what's his name, Pepe?
AP.
Yeah, Angry Pepe. What was his name? Was it Angry?
No, Adonis Paul.
No, shut the fuck up. What was his name? Angry Pepe? What was it?
AP. It was Ghastly and AP.
Yeah, what was AP stand for, motherfucker? Sign Pepe. Was
Adonis Paul.
It was Adonis Paul.
Angry Pepe? What was it?
Oh my god. I just said it. Adonis Paul.
Yeah.
No, that's not what it's. No, that's not what it stood for.
I don't know what the original stood for. I know that's what it turned into.
No one knows about that. Only you weebs know about that.
What?
Us?
What?
Us
How
weebs.
is Gulf City anime?
Someone in the chat knows what AP usually stood for.
Advanced placement?
No, it was something Pepe. It was something Pepe. Was it Angry Pepe? No.
See, even Genius Anus says Adonis Paul.
Genius Anus. It was not Adonis Paul. No one knows what that means.
Jesus H. Christ.
Jesus can't help you now, Akiba.
Sammy, grab a hold of this shit. Come on.
It's your podcast, damn it.
What was? Oh yeah, I answered the question.
It was Angry Pepe. I can't imagine another word for it.
Ash, I love you, but you're retarded. You're retarded, and you know it's true.
Well, Adonis Paul is retarded. What does that mean?
It's the name he goes by.
No, it's not.
At least now.
No. I refuse to believe that.
Okay. Yeah.
It did when him and Ghastly split and he became a VTuber.
Why did they
an equivalent?
Why did they split up? They were the best of friends.
They got split up because of creative differences with where Ghastly wanted to take Gulf City.
Okay, you think actually one of them was actually like pro mask or something?
No, it's just one didn't want to have to
No, for another reason.
About. No, because I was there. I talked to AP the night he was in that Discord very drunkenly,
you talked
very
to
angrily. Yes, I was in the Gulf City Discord during that era.
Can you introduce me to Ghastly?
No, I don't know them anymore.
What? Okay. Well, what use are you then?
What?
You heard me, bitch.
What? No, what?
He's like, what?
Wait, no, I really couldn't make out what you said. What did you say?
Someone said, Akiba, who is more crippled, Ash mentally or Sam fingerly?
Yes.
Yes, Chad, yes.
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 Well, Genius, you know my answer, and it's gonna be Ash mentally. I mean,
Shit.
the man kecks at everything.
Finger quote though.
The man kecks at everything.
How can
Ash, I'd like to see you turn your camera on and do
well, if
fingers.
Akiba, I was about to propose if Akiba does, I will, but he's like no. So I'm sitting here like, okay, no, as well.
I come from the school of Medicare. Why should I have to?
Yeah, same with me.
No, because you were about to if I did. Your fucking morals were flim-flam based on what I was going to do.
Look, I was flim-flam. I'll admit that. But at the same time, you can't even flam-flam over here.
I'm not trying to flam-flam. I'm trying to flim-flam. You know what I mean?
Sounds like you're scared, bro.
And with that, and with that, go visit Ash if your kid needs to be taught math because that's what he does.
But how can they find him if he's not on Twitter?
Exactly.
Well, you know what?
You're losing potential business.
You know what? People who want to know me, they have a way of contacting me.
Just not on Twitter.
No, it's gay. Being on Twitter is gay. If someone contacted me on Twitter, we'd both automatically be gay. So
you know what's gay, according to Nick Fuentes? Having sex with a woman. That's gay.
It's pretty cringe.
Pretty cringe. Pretty gay.
Cringe blue pilled.
Cringe, catboy.
God, he's...
Yeah, you know, Sean sent me an actual video of like an actual rhino, not like a fucking Republican in name only, a fucking actual animal, the rhino, giving birth, and it literally like just pooped out like a blue ass sack. And then a baby rhino like popped out of the sack, and then the mommy rhino came over and was like, "You okay?"
What? Okay.
I'm telling you, I can send it to you. Okay. I gotta pull it up.
No, I've seen Ace Ventura. I'm good.
No, it's literally like
I want to specify that when you said a rhino, and not like a Republican, a real rhino. My brain already thought real rhino.
Why did Sean send it to you, Ash?
I think he sent it to me because he realizes there's nothing funnier than an actual rhino shitting out a blue sack. It's like actually like palpable, huh?
Okay, yeah, and yeah.
Sam.
Yes, you are retarded.
Sam in the stream, god damn it.
Don't make me get
like Sam. I gotta go, god damn it.
We love you, chat, and we're gonna end this train wreck. Good night, folks, and thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for coming by, chat. Hope you had fun listening. Sorry for the first destruction of the first stream. And I'm sorry for any brain cells that may have passed during the making or listening to of this podcast.
You probably killed a lot of them, Akiba.
You know what? I'll own up to that. I'll at least own up to that. If I killed your brain cells, I apologize. But I had to talk about the Elden Ring patch, so
yeah.
Thank you all for listening.
See you next week, and hopefully Apex isn't dead from the Chinese. All right.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to The Whitfield Report on the NGC Network. Please visit Sam's website at www.thesamwhitfield.com and support Sam on Patreon at patreon.com/Whitfield Report. Until next time, God bless, God save this great nation, and God, freedom, legacy, in that order.